So, good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time you guys are watching. This is the Floor Spacer podcast, and we are so excited to have you on today. It's going to be a very exciting episode today.
Oh, absolutely.
Tyler, what do we have for today?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, before I get into that, the NBA's back.
Yeah.
By the time y'all are watching this, it'll be a day or two removed from opening night, where hopefully the Celtics put the hammer down on the the Knicks. It's exciting times, lads. It's been a very long off season, but I think we're entering uncharted waters because we haven't done any episodes during the regular season. So this is our first sort of journey into the regular season. Because episode 1 we recorded on the last day of last year's.
Right.
So this is a whole fresh start, a whole new journey, and we're excited for it. So obviously today, because the season is starting, we're going to do our full predictions. We're going to give you our full standings for both conferences from top to bottom. We're going to give you our award predictions, our playoff stuff, the in-season tournament, all that stuff. So, excuse me.
Yeah, stay tuned for that because we got a lot of hot takes.
We do.
Yeah.
Surprising takes, all that stuff.
We're going to have some debates, hopefully, which I really want to because I've just been in a sports debate mood lately. So I have that itch. We got to scratch the itch.
Yes.
We do have some other stories to talk about today as well. We had to talk about the elephant in the room, Kawhi Leonard. And we got some other stuff, including ESPN's top 100 lists. We got a bunch of stuff that happened throughout the NBA that we'll touch on today. But lads, I guess before we get into it, how we doing?
I'm good.
We're good.
It's late,
Yeah,
but
it is.
I'm awake.
We're locked in today.
Let's go.
Predictions always put me in a somewhat more better mood because I just like talking about things that could happen that maybe won't happen or will happen.
You do like to predict things.
Oh, I love
noticed
predictions.
that. And you do like taking credit for things you didn't predict
I
as well.
always take credit for all my predictions.
So we are holding you accountable today for everything you say today.
Yes.
October 21st, 2025 or 2024.
Yeah.
Yes, I was right about. I was saying this is the year for Yankees World Series, and I predicted that
When did you say that?
before the season even started. I didn't
way.
tell any of you guys, but I literally said it.
Cap.
He said I didn't tell any of
called
you guys because he didn't.
No, this is before the pod started.
Who'd you tell? Who'd you tell?
No, once Soto came over, I said this is the year.
Okay, so you know what I'm going to do right
Series or
now?
bust.
We need to lead by example, Gio. So back before the season started, I'm going to put myself on the spot because a lot of travesty, blasphemous stuff is coming out of your mouth right now. Before the season started, I have a tweet on the record that said the Yankees and Dodgers would both miss the World Series this year.
Who said that?
Me.
You said that?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
And he's wrong.
see, look, I'm going to start off holding myself accountable for bad predictions.
We applaud that because you're actually honest.
Yes.
That's good.
You said that and you're just holding to it.
I'm holding
now,
to
Anthony,
it. You do
can
the same
Can we
now.
have the same standard that Tyler applied to himself? Can you apply that to yourself as well?
But I didn't say they were going to miss the World Series.
But we don't know if you said that or not. But even outside of that,
No.
like
Can
the
we
other
fact
predictions-
check
I think there were times in the season I said this team is garbage. But then I always said, you know what? I think they're going to come around. Okay, I will say the Knicks will not make the finals.
That's your
So
prediction.
they will make the finals.
Wow,
We're gonna
what a
reverse
bold
psychology.
prediction.
Oh wow!
the Knicks are not
That's
making the
crazy.
finals.
We're going to
Whoa.
reverse psychology that.
See, there's three rules we have on this show, on the Floor Spacer podcast. 1, you're not allowed to sit on the fence. 2, you have to stand on business. So whatever you say, you got to stand on it. And 3, be unserious, because at the end of the day, that's what we are.
Yes.
You also see me.
I like that.
You also see
Yeah.
me stand on water
Okay.
because I can.
Yo,
It's proven.
this guy, bro.
Yeah,
Not
it's
both
wild.
Jesus,
Proven.
Crazy.
Proven fact. I can walk or stand on water.
You're not Jesus, bro.
No.
You're
Yeah,
not even
I could
Peter.
I
You're not
could
even
literally take the cases of water over there and prove it to you. I could stand on
That's
water.
blasphemous.
All right.
But anyways, if you guys are new around here, enjoyed today's video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We're closing in on 4K subs. If you're on any audio platforms, be sure to give us 5 stars, follow us on there, answer the polls. If you're on YouTube, you see the little bell next to the subscribe button. Hit that so that way you're notified every single time we upload, which is every day. Follow us on our socials, all linked down below. Follow our personal ones, which you can see all across the screen. Get Gio to 1 million Twitter followers. Do it right now or else. And yeah, I think as far as the rest goes, lads, are we ready to just dive right in?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. All right, into the first story, the first segment, guys. We have to address the elephant in the room. As I mentioned previously, Kawhi Leonard is at it again. So, I mean, do you want me to give some context to the situation before we get into what we're going to talk about?
Go for it.
Yeah.
All right. So, obviously, he goes to Toronto, wins a championship, right? Then signs with the Clippers in free agency. The Clippers have actually a very good season. They win 49 games in the shortened season, and then have a 3-1 lead up on Denver and blew the entire thing, lost.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. That was actually the birth of Pandemic P because he hit the side of the backboard in Game 7 and just played overall ass. But it was a good Kawhi season. We go into the next season. The Clippers still play really well, get to the conference finals for the first time ever before Kawhi gets hurt, tears his ACL. I think he hurt himself in the Jazz series previously, but in the conference finals, he just wasn't able to get going. And he missed the entirety of the 21-22 season. Comes back in the 22-23 season, tears his meniscus in the first round of the playoffs against, I want to say, the Phoenix Suns, and then also missed a bunch of time then. Last season, Kawhi kind of plays on and off, was a contract year. The Clippers give him a big extension in like February, March. I don't think he played a single game in the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken.
No.
Nope.
So,
Yeah.
also hurt his knee, had surgery, but it was said throughout the entirety of the offseason that he would be ready to go for training camp and ready to go on opening day on Wednesday. And, you know, he didn't show up at training camp. Did not play, did not practice, did not do any of that stuff. And a bunch of theories started going around, a bunch of rumors, everything like that. And an ESPN article came out literally 4 days ago, said that Clippers star Kawhi Leonard will be out indefinitely to start the season rehabbing his knee. So, yeah, Kawhi. I feel so bad for bro, man.
To preface, I predicted Kawhi not playing at all in the playoffs.
You did.
I said it, and they were like, "That's not happening." I said, "It's gonna happen." So
You know what,
I
that's
take
one-
I take credit
That's
for
one
that.
thing
Congratulations.
that we'll confirm.
I take credit.
Yeah.
I think probably the thing here I'm picking at is that just a setback for him. Something must have came up. That's the only thing I could think of. Doctors see something that's not mobility-wise correctly right with his knee, something that probably is off a little bit, and that's the reason why they don't want to go back to square one again, which is back to surgery if something goes wrong. So I think especially in a new arena as well.
Yeah.
And no Paul George.
Yes.
Yikes.
I don't think the new arena has an effect on him, but
No,
you never know. Potentially, just new hardwood floor, whatever is going on there.
I think you just want to have Kawhi for the opening of the new arena, right?
Yeah,
Because
I would hope.
they gave the reasoning that he has inflammation in his right knee,
Yeah.
and said there is no timeline. So, in all honesty, in my opinion, I don't think he's going to see a single minute on the floor this year.
Whoa.
I would
huge.
I would go as far as maybe the first 20 games of the season, and
Yeah.
I think we'll see after 20 games.
20 is, I don't know, because indefinitely, like whenever you hear the word indefinitely, you're like when Draymond was suspended indefinitely, he missed like over a month. So-
Correct. But they knew he was coming back regardless.
But do we know if Kawhi's coming back this year? That's the
We don't.
question.
We don't. That's why it says it's indefinitely. But if I had to decide whether or not he's coming back, I think he'll come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he has a huge contract. He's getting paid all that money, and to not play a single game in the season, he's stealing from the franchise.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to send him
Yes.
out there, whether he's 100%
Or not.
or not.
Unless, maybe he knows his team's going to be crap and he doesn't want to put himself on the line, which could be
They really-
just
will they,
another
though?
terrible reason as to why he wouldn't play.
I mean, if you have, like, I understand they lost Paul George, but, like, if you have Kawhi Leonard and James Harden on the floor,
I don't think they're going
that's
to
at least playing.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to
Yeah.
be bad.
But, like, if Kawhi's not playing, then what happens to the Clippers? Do they trade James Harden when he's eligible? What do they do? Because they really have no incentive to tank because the Thunder have their pick this year. So you don't
Yeah.
want to tank and have the Thunder get Cooper Flag. Like, do you realize how insane that would be?
Oh, yeah.
That would be ridiculous.
Exactly.
It's like,
No
it's
way.
crazy. But I think my question for you, Gio, and I think this is a question that's been going rampant around ESPN for years now. Should Kawhi Leonard retire? That is the $1 million question.
No,
Elaborate.
not yet. And I understand if you say yes.
I have a better question. Is Tua going to retire before
Okay, really?
Kawhi does?
But yeah, continue, Gio.
No. So I think I don't think Kawhi will retire. But the question is, should he retire?
In your opinion, should Kawhi retire?
retire?
Do you think he should retire? This has nothing to do with what Kawhi thinks. It's
Okay.
basically in the mind of Giovanni Squatteri.
So I think Kawhi's best years are behind him. I don't think he'll, play up to the same level that he had played at in years prior. But
Yeah.
I don't think he should retire because he still can play at a high level when he's healthy. But his body is breaking down quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think he should retire because he's still making big time money. Straight like that.
Yeah.
And he can still make a lot of money if he continues to play. So
Yeah. I think the logical answer, as Gio said, no. If he succumbs to another leg injury that is traumatic, then I think it's time to call it quits.
yeah.
But if nothing's happening with the leg after he comes back, give it the 2 years you have left on your contract and
then
run it out
from there.
If anything happens in those 2 years that's traumatic leg injury, even if it's his last year,
Yeah.
he'll get that money. Just really not guaranteed to him, depending on what's in the contract. But he has a couple years left in him that are, I think, decent.
Solid years. Yeah.
That are decent, not all-star, but decent.
No, he could be all star.
He'll be an all-star if he's healthy. Like,
Yeah,
he's Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
Absolutely, he has all star years left.
But like I said,
healthy years, that's another question.
if another
Right.
injury like that comes along, same thing I think for like other guys that get injured a lot. I can't go off the top of my head, but just if something bad happens with his leg again, that's same meniscus, same ACL. I think that's time to just call quits and just
Yeah.
move on.
What I don't want to see from Kawhi is him continue to play, and he's not the same player, or he's just a fraction of what he was before.
Yeah.
That's what I don't want to see. Once he gets to that level, then you have to go, because then it's just going to ruin your legacy. Everyone's going to forget what you did in your earlier years, and it's going to be like, okay, Kawhi, let's get rid of this guy.
And then if he's back fully healthy, I don't want to see any more load management.
Yeah.
I want to see you play every game.
It's not going to happen.
I don't like that. If he's fully healthy and Kawhi himself says, I'm 100%, no setbacks, I don't want to see load management and say, oh, my knee's acting up a day. I need to sit out.
Right.
I
What
can
do you think?
I can understand not playing the back-to-backs because you need to, like
rest
Embiid is doing, for
Which
for his sake, yes.
Right.
But I can't see games that are like every 2-3 days sitting
Yeah.
out. It's not going to cut it.
Tyler, what about you?
In my honest opinion, I don't think Kawhi's been healthy since 2021. I kind of feel like this is really similar to Ben Simmons, where he's been rushed back from surgeries way sooner than he should have.
Interesting, yeah.
And when that happens, your body's not acclimated to it because you have to let everything heal first, and then you have to ramp up and train.
That's very true.
And Kawhi and Ben Simmons both have been hurt while doing that. And we've clearly seen that they both just can't get through a whole season.
Wow.
And it's really hurting the Clippers because Kawhi's needed in the playoffs to do well. And, he hasn't been available when it matters most. And I think that's been the biggest issue with Kawhi Leonard, in my opinion, is that you haven't seen the drop-off. You haven't seen him half-ass games. When he plays, he's outstanding on both ends of the floor. But at the end of the day, if bro can't play in the playoffs because he's hurt, the regular season just wears him down. And that
Mileage.
really can't happen. I mean, Kawhi's guaranteed 145 mil over the next 3 seasons. So there's heavy implications regarding this now. And without Paul George, there's your safety net gone. Because you could get through the season with James Harden and Paul George, but without them now, James Harden's not going to go back to Houston Harden. He's the one that's past
James
his prime.
Harden is the system.
He is the
Are you
system.
kidding me? He's the system. That man, he can turn it up.
He can.
He's not Houston Harden.
Nah, he's not.
Houston Harden is long gone.
He will not be like he used to.
And this team is a lot worse than it was last year. So, and look, the Clippers are in a very tricky spot because now you're in a situation where your best player's most likely missing most of the season, if not the entirety of it. You lost your second option and you have no draft pick. So being mid will have to be the solution unless they do something with trades, but the Thunder's not going to give them their pick back.
Yeah.
Hell no. So it's an interesting situation, but
So you think Kawhi should sit out the whole year to make sure he's fully healed,
I don't
so
think
that he can come back and slowly ramp up his.
I don't know what I think, but I think he will sit out the whole year.
He will. Okay.
As far as in my opinion, I think he should sit out at least till January or February.
Okay.
Because I think if he comes back, let's say he comes back in December, I think he'll be banged up by April, right in time for the playoffs, and I think it'll kind of be the same thing over and over again.
Oh man, that's so unfortunate, man.
But I don't think he should retire. But I mean, look, it's my mind's starting to change at this point,
Yeah.
where it's like, forget just NBA. Like, is Bro going to be able to walk in 20 years?
Yeah, that's
Well, there's technology. He can get a knee replacement
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Yeah, but like, not having to deal with that.
Yeah.
He's already gone
course.
through he's probably got like a dozen scars on his knee already from
Yeah.
surgery.
Yeah.
So it's tough. He's probably gotten a lot of like cortisone shots or a lot of drainage in the knee. So
Yeah.
it's really complicated with Kawhi. And this is different than Ben Simmons because Ben Simmons is like 28. Ben Simmons is still young. Kawhi is 34. So,
Yeah.
not many years left for him to really be in that to be in the young body, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not high on this Clippers team. You'll see in the predictions where I have them. Because without him, I think it's a tremendous drop off. Just
Yeah.
because the talent around even Harden itself is semi decent. It's not good enough to make playoffs.
Right. Harden's also not the most durable either.
Nope.
I mean, ever since he requested the trade in Houston, those hamstrings have been cooked.
Yeah,
'cause he's been out of shape.
if you're losing
Yeah.
both of them, you're looking at a lineup that's
Oh, yeah.
rebuilding
Really ass.
They're playing.
really bad.
They have no pick, so they can't
and
really.
that too.
So the Clippers are playing a dangerous game.
Yeah.
And we'll kind of see going forward what they do. You'll see later on in the predictions where we place them. But yeah, just so you know, it's not as optimistic as you think.
Yeah.
So, lads, any final thoughts regarding Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers?
It's just a shame. We want to see him back. Just resting up for him.
Yeah.
And that's it, I guess. We can only wait and see what it definitely means.
Yeah.
And we'll get an update soon.
Yeah.
If it's
Yeah.
not, if it's going to be the whole season, the reporters are going to want to know.
Yeah, they
What's
will.
going
I'm sure
on?
Shams will get word probably when they reevaluate him, whenever that may be, because there's no
Yeah.
timeline. But
Yeah, that's
I
it.
can relate with Kawhi, man. I empathize with bro.
you have a bum knee.
Yeah, his mental health must be in a state right now that's like a roller coaster. He's probably feeling all different types of ways.
I am feeling all different types of ways.
Okay.
I think Kawhi's just chilling. I don't think he's really the kind of person that gets affected by this.
Yeah, I don't think
He's just
stresses
chilling.
out. Yeah. He may
He's
stress
human.
out a little
He's
bit.
not. He's not robot.
He is a
He's human.
robot.
Yeah.
He definitely is.
I'm sure he's frustrated.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
probably the one thing I could think off the top of my head. But he's sitting comfortably with his contract, so I wouldn't be frustrated as much as I would think he is.
Right, yeah. He'll be okay. But we'll have to see what the Clippers do this year. We'll see if they make a move. They have to at this point, whether they sell or buy. And yeah, I think at this point, we move on to the next segment. All right, into the next story, the next segment. Lads, we got a controversial one. And we have to go with the controversial capital of the world, ESPN. ESPN, in my opinion, has gone away from analytics to entertainment. And that's what it stands for, entertainment, sports, and whatever, right? Every year they do their top 100 NBA players, as they do every preseason. More controversial than the next is kind of what it is. And I almost feel like it's intentional at this point where they place some of these athletes. If you guys do want to check out where we did our top 30 NBA players going into this season, if you want to check it out, link down in the description below, go check it out, as well as a link to the last episode where we did our top 5 power rankings. Excuse me. But yeah, lads, do you want me to read out ESPN's top 10?
Yes.
Of what they had, and we'll deliberate. So obviously, Nikola Jokic first, Luka Doncic second, Giannis third, SGA fourth, Tatum fifth, Curry sixth, LeBron seventh, Embiid eighth, Kevin Durant ninth, and Anthony Edwards in 10th.
Wow.
So
Edwards is a lot lower than I thought he would be.
I mean, Edwards was 13th last year. Embiid had the biggest change. He dropped from 3 to 8,
Okay.
but obviously he missed most of the season.
Right.
But again, these rankings are done of where they think they'll end up at the end of the year.
Gotcha.
These are projections.
Got you. Okay. So wait, it was Jokic, Doncic, Giannis,
Yep.
SGA.
SGA, Tatum.
So it was exactly my top 5.
Okay. I'm
And
not
then,
against it.
And then it was Curry 6th.
Did you just copy and paste here?
This came out literally 5 days ago.
Oh, okay. I was going to say,
I was
Tyler,
about to say.
you kind of goated, bro. Okay.
Yeah, bro. So they had Curry 6th, LeBron 7th, Embiid 8th, Durant 9th.
I don't like the
and
Curry
Ant
ranking.
10th. Explain.
Curry should be outside the top 10.
Really?
Yes.
All right. Explain yourself.
All right. Number 1, their team is not going to make the playoffs this year.
Okay.
Number 2,
They're just talking about player overall, not team.
well, team success
That's important.
goes into it.
Yeah.
That's important.
I think Ant should be higher than Steph.
I agree with that.
I would put Steph 10.
I agree with that.
I would
think
argue,
Steph
Gio,
top
that
6.
that if Steph wasn't on the Warriors, or because of if it weren't for Steph, the Warriors probably would have finished 13th in the West, and he clawed them into the play-in.
He did.
So he does have that carry job on him.
He has a carry job, yes, but I don't think he's.
Like, I'm playing devil's advocate here. I don't think he's 6th, but
don't.
like
So where would you put him?
I think I put him like 8th or 9th when we did our list.
Yeah.
I'll put he's top 10, but not 6.
He's definitely top 10. You can't put him outside the top 10.
He's outside my top 10.
Nah.
Any day.
Okay.
Any day.
I'm actually okay with the Ant placement.
You like him at 10?
Yeah, I think anywhere from 8 to 12, I think, is where he belongs.
Oh, wow.
I think it's too soon to put him too high right now. This is his first good year.
I don't know. I put him top 5, so I disagree.
Tell me why. Then. Tell me why. Like I said, we're up for debate.
Because I understand LeBron, KD, yes. But I'm talking about, like, because Phoenix is up in the air, so is LA, so is Golden State.
Right.
So moving Ant up because Minnesota's in the top threshold of the West, and I think he's going to improve from last year significantly. I think I would put him. I think SGA kind of now probably leapfrogs him a little bit.
Oh, I think SGA is clearly better than Anthony Edwards right now.
I think a little bit.
Do you think so?
I think
Yes.
he's a little bit. It's not.
I don't
big.
think so.
Bro,
I think he leapfrogs him a little bit, but I
SGA
would put Ant 6 and then
I don't
move
think
the
clearly.
whole bottom 7, 8, 9, 10 back.
I put Ant 7.
Look, I'll tell you this because SGA going into last season, I was very critical because as we saw in the play-in games, Josh Giddey outplayed him. That can't happen. So
Josh
he comes
Giddey,
He
Mike.
comes into this year. He averages 30 with he led the league in steals. He had I think 35 and 5, and finished second in MVP voting. And if Jokic wasn't a freak of nature, then SGA most likely would have won the MVP. Led the Thunder to the 1 seed. So I do think he's deserving of that top 5 spot.
Yeah.
Whereas Ant, I still see the flaws in his game, and the fact that they had to make a trade to get off of a bad contract that stepped on his toes a lot means that he can't really work with everyone. So that's kind of my basically how I feel about Ant this year is how I felt about SGA last year. So
you think-
I think I'll get more of a sense this year of where Ant will be.
So who do you predict will be better this season? You predict SGA is still going to be better than Ant by the end of the season?
Yes,
And that's where we would disagree.
I agree. I think
Anthony's-
SGA is better.
I think you have a good argument when you say SGA right now is better, but in terms of at the end of the season, I think Anthony Edwards is on a higher trajectory than SGA is.
Really?
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like they're both very good players and they're increasingly getting better at a very high rate, but
Right.
I think Edwards' rate of getting better is a little bit higher
Yeah.
than SGA. So I think by the end of the season, Anthony Edwards will be a better player than SGA.
Well, let me tell you this. SGA just entered his prime. So this is where he's going to play his best basketball. Ant's only 22. So he's still a couple years away from his prime.
Right.
And I think in a few years, you'll really see what Ant can do when he peaks. But with SGA right now, he's one. It takes a lot for a player to prove me wrong. And he did that last year.
Okay.
So we'll just have to see. And I think at the end of this season, Anthony Edwards will be the best shooting guard in the NBA. So I gave respect to the elders
You
right
gave
now.
respect.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel that way. I think I need to see more than just a singular season as a sample size of how good a player is, if that makes any sense.
Let me just read off my top 10 really quickly.
Yeah, go for it.
So I had Jokic at 1, Giannis at 2, Luka at 3, Tatum at 4,
Yep.
SGA at 5. Okay, so that's my
Yeah.
top 5. SGA's at 5.
Yes.
Then Durant at 6, Edwards at 7,
Okay.
Embiid at 8, Brown at
Jaylen
9.
Brown, okay.
Jaylen Brown at 9.
Yep.
And at 10, LeBron James.
Yeah,
Curry
so
just
Curry
made it
was
outside
out,
of my
Jaylen
top
Brown.
10.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So-
I believe mine was the exact same top 5 ESPN had: Jokic, Luka, Jokic, Luka, Giannis, SGA, Tatum. I had Embiid in 6th. I had Donovan Mitchell in 7th.
Interesting.
I had Anthony Edwards in 8th. I
Get
had
out of here, bro.
Curry 9th, LeBron 10th, or LeBron 9th, Curry 10th. It was one or the other.
You had a picture-perfect list until Donovan Mitchell.
Look, like I said,
You're so high on Donovan.
I'm stupidly high on Donovan
Wow.
Mitchell. Because like I said, yes, the Celtics won the championship, but keep in mind, the road was very shaky for them to get there in the first place. If Donovan Mitchell didn't get hurt, who knows what could have happened in that series? Because they looked dead.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, bro. That's all I
Exactly.
gotta say. If, ands, and buts.
Right. But it almost is like you're not going to hold the Celtics accountable for almost losing in every round up until the finals. Like they were losing with 1 minute to go in every game of the
Yeah, but
of the
they
Eastern
won.
Conference Finals. Exactly, but like that's why I'm still high on certain players. If Donovan Mitchell was one of two players to beat the Celtics in the playoffs, it stands for something.
It was the team.
So
right.
I had Jokic, Doncic, Giannis, Ant, Tatum, Embiid 6, Kawhi 7, SGA 8.
oh, wow. SGA 8.
Very low.
9 Steph, 10 KD, 11 Jaylen Brown, 12 LeBron.
Wow.
That's crazy. I'm pretty sure you had. I think you switched up. I'm pretty sure you had LeBron in his top 10.
I think I took out. Yeah, I think I put KD above. I think I put KD 9, 10 LeBron, 11 Steph, 12 Jaylen Brown.
But you had Anthony Edwards at 4?
Correct.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think that top 10's fine. Top 5 is crazy.
Yeah.
Top 5 is crazy. When bro can't pass out of a double team, top 5 is nuts.
Okay. Enough of the slander.
I'm just saying how it is. But do you want me to reveal the remaining of the top
Yes.
25? All right. So in 11, let me just scroll all the way down because my page refreshed on me. That's really cool, isn't it? Hold on. Sorry for the delay. I hate when this happens. Okay. Hold on. What the? Did I open the same link?
All I know is that this next section is where Donovan Mitchell should be placed.
Okay, that's where I think
Should
he'll
not
be at
be
the end
top
of this
7.
season.
Okay. You think he'll be top 7 at the end of the season?
No, I think he'll be below.
Okay.
Like I said, I gave respect to Donovan Mitchell.
For this season. Okay.
That's correct, yes.
Gotcha.
2024, 25, 50 to 11.
I even think Devin Booker is better than Donovan Mitchell. I genuinely think Booker's so good.
I think you're too blinded by what he did for Team USA.
I think no, even besides that, but
Nah.
that just added to his case.
To me, there's no excuse for Devin Booker dropping 12 points in elimination games as supposedly the best player on the Phoenix Suns.
KD's the best player on the Phoenix
Now
Suns.
he
We
is,
know
but
that.
when Booker was the best player, he didn't show up when it mattered most. So that's kind of what it is.
There's a lot that goes into that.
Exactly.
I think
but-
he's a clutch player, but he just had a bad moments
I mean, it's happened,
at the worst time.
but it's happened like year after year. It happened.
years.
It happened in the 2021 finals. It happened in Game 7 against the Dallas
that's
Mavericks. It happened. Who'd they play? Who'd they play after that series? They played the Nuggets, and he was just awful the entire series. And or no, they played the Nuggets, and then they played the Wolves last year, and he was just
no, he played
Not it.
well. It's just the team sucks.
well, right. But when Devin Booker was the best player, he was not great in elimination games. And
Yeah.
that's always the elimination game Booker thing. Even when they were in the in-season tournament knockouts.
Yeah, but then we can't say that Donovan Mitchell has had super
Donovan
amazing
Mitchell's
playoff success
He's
either.
he's failed in the playoffs, but he shows up at least. He goes out dropping 40
Yeah, but
points.
failure is failure.
Right.
You lose
But
the game, you
there's-
lose the game.
But there's a way to fail, is what I mean. Like you want to go down swinging, right?
I guess.
You don't want to go down half-assing and dropping 12 points. You'd rather drop 40.
I'd rather
and-
win.
Well, I'm saying, but if you're going to lose, you'd rather at least lose with the effort that you lose in.
Fair
right?
enough.
So that's what it is. But I found the rest of the list. In 11th place, they had Victor Wembanyama. 12th, Jalen Brunson. 13th, Anthony Davis. 14, Jalen Brown. 15, Devin Booker. 16, Tyrese Halliburton. 17, Donovan Mitchell. 18, Bam Adebayo. 19, Tyrese Maxey. 20, Ja Morant. 21, Paul George. 22, Kawhi.
Wow.
23, Dame Dalla. 24, Paolo Banchero. And 25, Kyrie Irving.
Wow.
With De'Aaron Fox just missing out on the top 25.
Wow. I had De'Aaron Fox at 20.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anything stand out to you?
What stands out to me is Tyrese Maxey's pretty high over there.
Very high.
Where is he at over there?
19.
That's pretty good. Okay, Tyrese. I like that. I
Most
like that
improved
for him.
player for a reason. I mean, in last year's rankings, he was 42nd. So
Did they have Kyrie in there?
25.
25.
Yeah.
At 25.
Yeah. Thoughts on the Wemby placement?
Where do they place him?
11th.
Wow. I think that's very high.
Very high.
It was higher than I had him, and I had him pretty high.
I think Wemby.
At the end of next season, this dude low key could get himself inside the top 7.
Yes.
I disagree.
I'm not saying he will. I'm saying he could.
Yeah.
You don't think there's a
think-
realm of possibility that he gets inside the top 7
There's
players?
a realm. There's always a possibility, but
Right.
it's going to be low chance.
But there is a chance.
There is a chance.
There is
Yeah.
a chance.
I think that it's going to also rely on team success as well. I
Right.
think if there's another terrible season by the Spurs, I don't think he's going to break top 10.
But what if they're tanking again? They
Then
could.
it is what it is.
Right.
I think he'll still win Defensive Player of the Year unanimously.
Right.
I think that, but
Yeah.
yeah.
That's fair. I don't like the. I think it kind of goes along the same lines as the sample size, where I'm not a huge fan of the Brunson and AD placements. First of all, I don't think Brunson should be higher than AD. I also don't think Brunson should be in the top like 12 because I had him low. But I think at best, I think like 15th or 14th is fine. As far as that goes, I think Tyrese Halliburton was very disrespected, but I guess that's due to his injury last year, where he didn't get the full 82 of that. Because before he got hurt, he was insane. But I mean, outside of that, I don't really have any humongous issues with it.
Yeah, no.
I like the Paolo respect because he's been. I feel like since the arrival of Wemby, Paolo's been kind of thrown to the side.
Where do they put Pelo?
24th.
I think
Okay.
he needs to be a little higher.
I put him at 26.
That's fair.
I
I
think
put
it needs to
him.
be a
I put
little
him
higher.
somewhere in between like 18 and 24. I don't remember exactly, but
Yeah, he needs to be higher.
Paolo gets some love.
Yeah, I like it.
Now, there were a couple controversial placements that
yeah.
a lot of people did not like, including myself. They put Trae Young in 37th.
Very low.
Very low for Trae Young.
Yeah.
Who they got above Trey, man? Like Clint Capella or something?
Well, they put him in the same category as Mikal Bridges,
Oh.
Derek White.
No.
They put Drew Holiday above him. They put Scotty Barnes above him. They put Larry Markkinen, Chet Holmgren, Jamal Murray, Rudy Gobert, Kat. They put a lot
All
of those
notable
guys
players,
above.
but none of
Trae
them are
Young
better
still
than
should be
Trae.
a lot higher.
Yeah.
As far as
Yeah.
other placements, there was one massively controversial placement that was on this list. It involves the Denver Nuggets. So, ESPN doesn't particularly like the Nuggets, right? So, them losing Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is ESPN's main reason for why Denver's going to suck this year. And keep in mind, KCP was not even ranked in the top 100 last year. They put Michael Porter Jr. in 89th.
Wow.
And they put KCP in 62nd.
This is blasphemy.
Oh, wow.
Blast. That's not. I'll talk about the most in a little bit, but that is the second most blasphemous thing I saw from this top 100 list. The last one will have you going bonkers. But anything you want to comment on that?
It's just ridiculous. That's just, I don't know what kind of bias that is, but it's just disgusting.
I don't agree with MPJ because you'll find out later in my predictions as to why I don't agree with that.
Yeah, you'll see. Don't mention anything else.
I don't agree. He's not lower than any of his. How is Jaime Jaquez higher than him?
That's insane.
Jaime Jaquez did nothing. How is Lou Dort higher than him?
No.
Yeah.
Stop, bro.
How is they put Mitchell Robinson over him?
Bro.
Why is he in the top 100?
He
put
should not
Mitch-
even be there.
Mitch is over
How is
MPJ?
Pods over him? How is DiVincenzo over him? How is Reeves over him?
They put Tyler Hero and Zach LaVine over.
How is Draymond? How is Quickly?
It's
How
crazy.
is KCP?
Yeah, that's really disrespectful.
How is Caruso?
I think because of this, MPJ is going to
Derek Lively.
That's
MPJ is going to have an amazing season.
You know, I'm going
Because
through
of
these
that.
names.
But do you want to know the most blasphemous thing I saw on this list?
What?
They put Cade Cunningham in 67th.
Yeah, they're not high on Cade.
67th? Like, are we serious?
I guess they don't see anything for Cade coming
Bro, no.
through. Who do they have above
They
Cade?
had Draymond, Malik Monk, Chris
Quickly.
Middleton, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope.
I mean, hey.
They put Josh Hart above Cade Cunningham.
Okay, that's a little crazy.
Yeah.
So is
Those
Derek
other
Lively.
names?
Derek Lively.
Those other names.
They put Derek Lively in like 50 something.
Okay, that's a little. That's
And
very
RJ
overrated.
Barrett.
Overrated.
RJ
Yeah.
Barrett's nowhere near
But
close.
I think Malik Monk being over Cade, I'm not fully against that.
But I mean, one's a sixth man and one's the best player
Yeah.
on a team with no NBA players. Like, what do you want
yeah.
Cade to do?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that
Derek Lively should not be top 100.
Derek-
He's going to be a bench guy.
Derek Lively is insanely high.
Yeah, I don't.
He had a phenomenal season last year. He will get the starting job this year, I think.
Yeah, later on.
But I think,
Yeah, no.
let alone putting him in the top 100, I guess you can maybe make an argument for putting him in 99th instead of Chris Paul. But like,
Yeah, even Middleton. He's going to be injured. He's
Where's
in
Jalen
there.
Green at?
He's right here, 69.
Okay.
They put Brandon Miller above him,
Yeah, that's
which is
ridiculous.
fine.
No,
I think
that's not.
I think it's a little.
That's ridiculous. Jalen Green is going to be insane this year. You'll see later in my predictions.
You'll see
Austin Reeves
later.
is 3 spots below him. He should not even be close to him.
yeah.
I like Reeves.
No.
But
Yeah, Mitchell Robinson and Smart on this list is.
to me, they got the number one player right, so that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, lads, just your overall thoughts on the top 100 list, or at least like the main majority of it.
This is a really.
I mean, ESPN always has a
Again,
biased list.
I'm not like. Chris Paul's 99. Why is he in there?
Because Chris, do you realize how many assists he's going to average playing with Wemby? He will
Like-
make the top 100 this year.
Where's Kristaps? He's not even in this.
I think Porzingis made the list.
Porzingis, I don't.
Porzingis was placed in number 46.
Okay, 46. That's why
So
I'm not seeing.
yeah,
Wait, who's number 100?
number 100 was I
Anthony
believe
Simons.
Anthony Simons.
Respect to him.
Yeah,
Anthony
That's it.
Simons.
big up Anthony
made it,
Simons.
buddy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So yeah, any final thoughts regarding this before we get into our full 2025 season predictions?
This is going in a dumpster.
Yes, let's put it in the dumpster along with Antoine's. I knew it from the beginning.
Yeah.
This is
So-
dumpster.
Lads, we ready
Let's
to get
go
it?
to sleep.
Let's
No,
go to sleep. But lads, are we ready to get into our first ever full season predictions?
Let's do it.
All right, lads, it's time to get into the main part of the show. We've been looking forward to this for a really long time now. We're going to be predicting the full 2024-25 NBA season. So we're going to do this in just different spurts. We're going to do the standings, both West and East. We're going to do the in-season tournament predictions, the NBA Cup, as it's called now, playoff stuff, the awards, any intricate little details here and there. Everything is going to be on the screen, which you'll be able to see in just a few moments. Lads, anything to say? Like anything you want to tell the lovely viewers at home before we kind of dive right in?
I am able to go back on my predictions, and anytime I want, you guys need to keep yours finalized.
Not
Let's
allowed.
Go on.
Nope. Objection. Lack of foundation.
Holding you to the same standard, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm able to say that I predicted your predictions.
No.
Okay. But are we excited?
Yeah.
Yes, let's go.
All right.
Let's get into it.
We're going to start off in the Western Conference. And basically, how we're going to do this is since the standings will be somewhat similar, we're going to do it in blocks of 3. So the eliminated teams, the play-in, and the top 6. One person's going to headline each section. So when I hit next on the slideshow, one person's standings will pop up. We'll read them. We'll debate it for a little bit. And then the other 2 will be shown afterwards. We'll talk a little bit more
Nice.
and then move on. So are we good on that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. So let's dive into the Western Conference eliminated teams. Antoine, I believe you are headlining this. So just for the viewers at home, just read from bottom to top and just like say like in like 15th, 14th,
Yeah.
so on.
So bottom barrel 15 is San Antonio. Right above them at 14 is Portland. At 13 is Utah. 12, there's my shocker. Clippers are in 12th.
It's not much of a shocker.
11th, the Warriors, right outside the play-in. I think that's we have probably similar ones.
I have the same
guys.
exact thing, except
Oh.
Spurs are flipped with the Blazers.
That's fine. It goes
Okay.
either way.
I'm curious why you put the Spurs in last. Do you really think they're going to be that bad?
No, I just think that they're going to be fairly close with Portland and win column. I think Portland gets above 20. I think they're going to get just below 20.
Oh,
A little above
interesting.
20.
wow.
He must really value Denny Avdia.
You must.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just think
You look like him a little bit.
that's a I think Spurs and Blazers are going to be neck and neck with wins. I think somewhat mid 20s.
I don't know. I
That's
think
why I'm saying they're going to be
I'm very
right there.
I'm very torn on San Antonio due to the fact that they're really bad, but I don't think they're going to be that bad.
Just because of Wemby. And
I
then
think I'm
Wemby.
a-
Remember, Wemby won't be on the minutes restriction this year. He was restricted to like 23 minutes last year. Let's say
Maybe
he
he's
plays.
predicting a Wemby injury.
No,
No, God forbid.
other injuries besides Wemby.
Okay.
Like Harrison Barnes, I could see easily getting a little injured. He's on the older side.
Even without him, I still think they'll win more games.
Sohan, I don't know if he'll do much.
Oh, he's pretty durable.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know, but I think the Blazers are gonna be fairly close in wins. I just think it's just how the West will pan out.
Yeah. Okay.
And thoughts on I just want to know your thoughts on the Warriors not making the playoffs this year at all, like not even with a shot in the play-in.
I love that pick.
I don't see much. They didn't resign Kuminga. That sounds like a fire waiting to just burn into a bigger fire.
Right, yeah.
With your young star that's not signed up.
And also the West is just stacked.
The West is
Yeah.
unreal,
They're
bro.
just stacked.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be good teams that don't make
Yeah.
the playoffs.
I would be. I mean, if they make it as the last seed, I wouldn't be surprised. But
I would
I
be.
think
They easily could. I don't think there's an argument against that
Yeah.
as far as that goes.
My argument against that is there's better teams than them.
Yes.
Right.
Point
correct.
blank. Period.
But what if another team pulls a Memphis and everyone gets hurt?
That's possible.
Then I think
yeah,
the
it's
Warriors have a
possible.
shot here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's possible.
Because you never know where anyone gets into a situation like the Nets did a year or two ago, where they see the scope of their season being mid's not sufficient. You trade all your assets away at the deadline and you just tank. Kind of like what Dallas did last year or 2 years ago when they were in the play-in race and then just kind of dropped all the way out.
Yeah. We're going off of this right now as currently constructed. Everybody healthy.
Right.
This could obviously change
Oh,
with
yeah.
anything going on.
Health,
And it likely
you
will.
can play health into a factor of these standings because I definitely did. I
Yeah.
definitely predicted teams would not be as healthy as I thought they would.
Yeah.
That's why I put the Clippers.
That's why the Clippers are 12.
Yeah.
Right. So do you want to reveal? We'll reveal
I
mine
want
and
to see
yours.
yours. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said it wasn't that much of a shocker of where you placed the Clippers. Well, let me tell you where I placed the Clippers.
Oh wow.
So I'll read mine first, and then we can read yours after. So in 15th, I've gone for the Portland Trailblazers. In 14th, I have the Los Angeles Clippers.
Wow.
In 13th, I have the San Antonio Spurs. In 12th, I have the Utah Jazz. And in 11th, I have the Golden State Warriors. Any any questions with mine before we get into yours?
So we all have the same.
No, we're all same with the Warriors.
same with the Warriors.
Yeah. Do
all-
you want to read yours, Gio?
Huh?
Do you have any
Read
questions for me,
yours.
or do you want to read yours?
I think that's fine.
I mean, I'm assuming you put the Clippers there because of the injuries.
I don't think Kawhi's going to play at all.
So
That's
that's why they're that
And
low.
I don't think Harden's going to play much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Why do you have the Jazz at 12?
He's high on.
Larry Markkanen's signed 5-year deal. They have no excuse to tank now. I think they have a good enough team with Colin Sexton. I think Keontae George is going to have a really good year.
So they're going to compete for a play-in spot.
I think they will. I don't think they'll get it.
He's only
because
one spot above us.
There's still
Right.
assets they have that could easily go, like Walker Kessler, like
Yes.
Colin Sexton.
Yes.
John Collins is another one that could
Yes.
easily go.
Yes.
It's not a bad team, and I think
No.
if Markkanen has a better year than he did last year, because obviously he did take a step backwards, I think they could do well, and I believe in Will Hardy also. So
Yeah.
because I know you guys don't,
And they
Fair
have
enough.
pieces to move if need be. That don't need to be there, as he said.
and they'll
Collins,
take on any
Kessler.
other contracts.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the next one.
We'll read it. You have to
Go
read
yours. No,
Oh,
yours.
wait.
Do yours.
Yeah,
Wait, what am I reading?
just read your
bottom
15th.
five right there. Just your bottom five.
Oh, well, they see it.
No, but the people for the
No.
audio viewers.
Oh, the audio. Of
Audio,
course,
yeah.
of
Can't
Can't forget our
course.
Spotify fans.
So I got at 15 Trailblazers. Then I got Spurs at 14, Jazz 13, Clippers 12, Warriors 11.
Why
Yeah.
do you not have the Clippers all the way down at the bottom?
Because I'm assuming they get injuries, so they don't make the play-in, but not enough. Because they still have some good pieces. They got Norman Powell. They got what's that guy's name?
Amir Coffey.
Yeah, Amir Coffey showed some bright spots last year. They still got Ivanka Zubac and what's the guy Trey? I keep calling him Trey Man.
It's Terrence.
Terrence Mann.
Trey
Yeah,
Man's,
Terrence
on, Trey
Mann.
Man's on the Hornets.
Trey-
Yeah,
Man's on
he's
the-
on the Hornets.
Yeah.
I'm
Terrence.
high on Terrence Mann, and let's see what Harden can do. He is the system. Will he remind us of that? I think he might, show some glimpses of Houston or Harden. So
We will
That's where
have,
they're at 12.
We will have to see. As far as the rest of the list goes, I don't mind it. I agree with the
No.
Trailblazers being in last. That team is really bad.
yeah,
So, any other
All right.
final thoughts, questions, comments, concerns regarding the bottom five?
no sir.
All right. Let's get into the top. Not the top. Let's get into the play-in. I believe I am headlining this one. So in 10th place, I've gone for the Houston Rockets. In 9th, I have the Los Angeles Lakers. In 8th, I have the New Orleans Pelicans. And in 7th, I have the Memphis Grizzlies.
I have nothing wrong with this. I think that's exactly similar to what I have.
I think it's basically just the Rockets take a step forward this year.
I have Grizzlies in the think 6th seed.
You know, Grizzlies very high.
I have Grizzlies high. You
Yeah.
guys haven't been playing, but that's high playing, so that's fine.
Right. I think the Rockets are the only one out of this bunch that improves.
Yes.
And I just can't trust durability wise of the other 3 teams. I'm being optimistic putting Memphis in 7th.
Okay.
I think they could easily fall out of the play-in if they keep getting injured.
Yeah.
But I decided to feel optimistic in a little bit. I think the Pelicans kind of stick around the same spot because you just can't trust Zion. I know Ingram's future is unlikely right now. So, and the Lakers, I don't believe in the Lakers still, and it has nothing to do with JJ Redick. I think he's going to coach his ass off.
Yes.
But I just don't think this team is good enough.
Yeah.
This team didn't improve from last year. So,
I don't have any issues.
You no issues?
No.
Okay.
do you have any issues?
I think the Grizzlies are a bit high.
Yeah.
I think the Lakers. I would swap Grizzlies and Lakers. I also have the Pelicans higher, so you'll see that soon.
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
right.
That's fair. So any other questions? You want to reveal the next 2?
Let's go to the next.
All right. So this is what you guys had. So Antoine, do you want to read yours off?
Yeah, so in 10th I have the Rockets, 9th is the Pels, 8th is the Lakers, and 7 is the Kings.
Okay. So as of right now, Gio,
Wow.
me and you have the Kings in the playoffs.
Okay.
So do you want to read yours out?
Yeah, so I got Grizzlies at 10, not 7, at 10.
Yeah.
Then I have the Rockets at 9, the Suns at 8.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Okay.
low on the Suns.
I am low on the Suns.
Okay.
Suns at 8, and Lakers pretty high at 7.
You believe in JJ Redick.
I
And
very
you-
much do.
You believe in Bronny James.
Ronnie James is next up.
Why?
No.
Why?
No.
Are you,
What?
why is Phoenix remarkably low?
I don't like the way their team is constructed.
Okay, I understand that.
Yeah.
I have Phoenix pretty high. You're gonna see where I have them.
I also have a question later on in the episode about Phoenix, so
Okay.
Okay.
We'll have to
a little
see.
foreshadowing.
Little
Memphis,
foreshadowing.
Memphis, I understand because of everybody coming back. While you have them at 10.
I think to me, Memphis and Philly are the 2 hardest teams to predict because they have
They
the
are.
highest and the lowest ceilings possible.
are.
Yeah.
So with Memphis, like this team will go as far as Ja takes them, right? But if Ja's hurt, they're going to be really bad. But if Ja's healthy, this team can make a humongous run,
Yeah.
as we've seen in the past. They've gotten the 2 seed before.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't know if I believe in the Grizzlies organization.
Ooh.
All right.
So that's why they're that low. Whether or not Ja's going to be healthy or not.
Is there a reasoning as to why you don't believe in the Grizzlies? There has to be a reason. It's got to be something.
I don't know what it is. It's just like a gut feeling. They don't seem to get the job done.
Okay.
So
That's
I
fair.
put them at 10 for that reason. Even if Ja's healthy, I still don't see them making that much noise in the West. The West is a tough division, as we know.
Right.
Conference.
I think it's really dependent on who they get in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like if they get a veteran team like the Lakers, like they saw in 2023, the experience hurt them because they didn't have much of it. But when they played the Wolves like 2 or 3 years ago, the Wolves were just fresh. It was Ant's second season. They were the ones that were inexperienced too, and they were able to kind of navigate past it. But yeah, pretty interesting. I don't really have why the Kings in the play-in, Antoine.
I think we just miss out. I think the records will be close. That's why they're top playing.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I both of us believe in them this year. So I think the DeMar acquisition is going to be key. But we'll talk about the Kings more in a little bit. But any other questions, comments, concerns before we get into the top 6?
Let's get to top 6.
All right, so Gio, you, my friend, are up first. So
Let's
read
go.
us your top 6.
All right, so at 6, I have the Kings just squeezing into the playoffs. Then at 5, I got the Pelicans, pretty high, according to you guys' list. At 4, I got the Mavericks, 3, Timberwolves, 2, Thunder, and 1, Denver Nuggets.
Interesting.
Yes.
What is the? I'm curious. Why is it all biased that you're a Russ fan of you putting the Nuggets at 1?
You know, if I want to be honest and just truthful to the viewers,
Yeah.
yes, that does factor into my
Okay,
ranking of
yeah,
having
I'm
the
just glad
Nuggets
you're
at
honest with
1.
that,
It does
yeah.
factor in, but I still think they are, whether or not I'm a Russ fan or not, I still think the Nuggets are a top 3 team in the West.
Oh, without a doubt.
And it's going to be close.
Like it was last year.
Exactly.
That's fair. The Mavericks in 4th. And you believe in the Wolves more than the Mavs?
Yeah.
I do. I love the DiVincenzo acquisition along with the Randall. I think Randall's going to show out. for the Timberwolves. I know you're not a fan of that, but I think Randall is going to do his thing in the Timberwolves uniform. And like I said before previously, Anthony Edwards is on a very high trajectory. I think he's going to keep on going at the same pace as he was last year,
right?
And even better. I think the Mavericks drop off. I mean, they're in the same spot probably, right? Last year they were number 4.
They were the 5 seed last year.
They were the 5 seed
because I think they didn't have home court against the Clippers, right?
Clippers, yeah. So they'll be right around the same area. I think they can make some noise in the playoffs. Luka and Kyrie, that's their moments, you know?
Right.
But yeah, so that's my list. Any other questions, guys?
Talk New Orleans for me.
New Orleans.
I'm scratching my head a little bit on this.
I think this is the year where Zion stays healthy and stays in shape for once. All right. So I think Zion's upside is huge. He just needs to stay in shape. He just needs to stay healthy. And I think he can carry a team like very few players in the NBA can.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
When he's at his max, capacity, his max potential, I think he has that ability to do that. And then now they just have, they have DeJounte Murray. I think that's going to be a good mixture between those two.
Yeah.
And then they have great role players. They have great defense. They have athletic wings. I think this is a scary team.
Can I make one counterpoint?
Go for it.
They're going to play Herb Jones at the 5 this year.
Stop it.
Their centers are not.
They're playing Herb Jones at the 5. So imagine Herb Jones matching up against Jokic, Hartenstein, those like behemoth men.
All right, well, let me make a counterpoint.
Okay.
And that is the Houston Rockets played a small ball lineup and got to the playoffs as top 4 seed.
But who was their small ball center?
PJ Tucker.
PJ
6'5".
Yeah, but PJ Tucker outweighs Herb Jones by about 70
PJ Tucker is 6'5" though.
Right. Herb Jones is like 6'7". It's like
no, he's like 6'8". I'll give him the extra
somewhere
inch.
around there, yeah.
But still, I think small ball lineups, they can do some damage in the regular season.
They can.
In the playoffs, they're going to get exposed for sure. If
they need to make a deal at the deadline for a center,
yeah.
Whoever that may be.
It could even be Mitchell Robinson.
It could.
Yes, please. Please.
It would be crazy because he wants Mitch gone so bad. When it gets down to the point where they need a backup center in the playoffs and you see Jericho Sims minutes, he's going to be crying for Mitch,
Ariel Hook 40 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
Precious Achiuwa's injured.
But
yes, Precious too.
Yeah, he's hurt, so he's going to miss time.
First 4 weeks.
But I think with New Orleans, we saw it, right? In the first 3 quarters of that playing game, Zion was God until he hurt himself, until his legs just fell apart.
Yeah.
Can he stay like that?
I think he's going to.
Now we'll have to see.
Yeah, we will see. I think he dropped weight. I think that helps. So
I'm more curious with the Pelicans. I'm not curious to see Zion's health. I'm not curious to see how DeJounte meshes. I'm curious to see how this affects CJ McCollum. Because he's not going to be dribbling the air out of the basketball anymore. So he can go back to his natural shooting guard position.
Yep, which is exciting.
Playing off of DeJounte just like he did off of Dame. Obviously, DeJounte's a big downgrade on Dame, but I think it could work.
Just someone to pass on the ball where he can catch and shoot, which is what he's outstanding at. I think he can thrive.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
So, Anton, do you have any questions for Gio regarding this?
No, I think it could go either way with the bottom 2, 5, 6 teams.
Right. Yeah, I don't hate it.
No.
So let's get into both of ours. You can read yours first.
Yeah.
For your top 6. So go for it.
Yeah. So same top 3 as Gio. Nuggets, Thunder, Timberwolves. I have Suns at 4, Mavs at 5, and then Grizzlies at 6.
Okay. You're high on the Suns.
Yeah, you are. Top 4s.
They're gonna be
crazy.
They're gonna be good this year.
Wow.
I have in 6th I have the Phoenix Suns. In 5th I have the Sacramento Kings. In 4th I got the Minnesota Timberwolves. In 3rd I have the Dallas Mavericks. In 2nd I have the Denver Nuggets. And in 1st I have the OKC Thunder.
Yeah.
I just think top to bottom right now, the Thunder are a more complete team for the regular season.
Okay.
Yeah. I think top 3 is interchangeable. You have Mavs over Tims. I could see that happening easily.
I don't.
You don't?
I think there's going to be a longer adjustment because there's a familiarity with Cat. I think that's going to hurt some games.
Okay.
Whereas with the Thunder, I know they won't have Hartenstein for a month or 2.
Yeah.
But they clearly made the 1 seed last year with Josh Giddey in the starting lineup without Hartenstein. So I think Chet at the 5's fine anyways.
Yeah.
So, and I think this is good for OKC in the sense that Chet's not going to lose all familiarity at the 5. He'll get starting minutes in the 5 to start the year. Then he'll transition back to the 4. The Thunder are kind of doing what the Wolves did last year, having 2 centers kind of run their lineup, which I think is interesting. And being that one can shoot and one can't.
Yeah.
But with yours, I need some explanations on the Suns that high.
Because they're going to be good. Any team with KD and Devin Booker is going to be fantastic.
What about last year?
That's last year. We're just saying new year.
But that's
We need some deeper explanations on that.
I think they all find their role. Beal finds his role. He's going to be significantly better because he's not going to be that bad. Booker and KD are going to be themselves. You have a starting point guard now finally. You have bench depth. Bud is there. I think they'll be more than okay. I think they're past their growing pains. And I think this is the year they're going to get top seed. And that's going to be 4. I think they're going to go as high as 4. I think they can go as low as 6. I think that's their
floor.
That's their floor. Yeah.
Right, well,
Yeah, I don't know.
Grizzlies too. They're high. Their Grizzlies. Their high is 6. I don't
think
think they can go higher than 6.
I think Bradley Beal is going to get benched this season.
No.
I think they need to break up that team.
They
I
can.
mean, they can keep Booker and keep KD, but Beal has to go.
Bradley Beal is a no trade clause.
For real?
Yeah, he does. That's why he's
They're
there.
trapped.
Very sad.
They are trapped.
And that's why they're so low on my list.
It's so important for the Suns to get this extension done with KD as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Otherwise, shit's going to hit the fan and they're going to have to blow it up.
Yeah.
So, but as of right now, they're working towards a 2-year extension.
They're trying.
So, we'll have to see.
Let's go to
But
the East.
any final thoughts regarding the West?
No. Let's go to our favorite conference.
Let's go to the Eastern Conference. So we're going to go snake style. So you're going to get the headline on this one, Gio.
I bet.
So let's go to the East.
All right.
Bottom 5. Go for it.
Bottom 5. So I got Wizards at 15, Brooklyn Nets at 14, the Hornets at 13, the Hawks at 12, the Pistons at 11.
Whew.
Yeah. Yeah. What do we think? What do we think?
I have 2 problems.
Go for it.
You have the Pistons very high,
I do.
and you have the Hawks very low.
Look,
Go for it. Say whatever you need to say.
I may have messed up in this list. I don't know if I can stand on business for this because now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, maybe the Hawks should be above the Pistons.
I think I have the Hawks in the play-in. If I'm pretty sure.
Well, we'll see. Kind of going
I don't
forward.
remember. This is fine. I think the Hornets are going to be a lot better than 13, but
Really?
I think if LaMelo's injured, I do see that happening though.
That's the
Again.
thing. He's wearing the ankle braces this year.
Yeah. Wizards and Nets bottom 2. I agree.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where would you have the Pistons?
I don't remember. I think they're just outside playing. I think they're at 11.
Yeah.
We'll see when we reveals it.
Yeah.
So you
They're at
think
11.
Pistons are high?
I think the Pistons are high. I think the Hawks are
Interesting.
low.
I thought you would be higher than the Pistons.
The Pistons should be a little higher.
The problem is I still don't see the Pistons not fully tanking right now. Mm-hmm. I don't see it yet. And I think you're going to get a good year out of Cade Cunningham, but like, what are they going to do with the other guys? Like, are they going to keep Ivy? Are they going to consistently play Tobias Harris every game? Because I think if he does, and they can very well finish 11th if they play that full lineup. I just don't know. Like, if the Pistons keep running the 2 big lineup, it doesn't work. It didn't work last year. That's why they lost 28 games in a row when you were running Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart on the floor together in 2 not great shooting centers that just clogged up Cade Cunningham completely. And even now, the spacing's still not that good.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of have to see. And why do you not believe in the Atlanta Hawks? Because that's perplexing me. Because they have Trae Young. They have the number 1 pick. They got some good depth in return from the DeJounte trade.
Jalen Johnson just got his extension as well.
I don't know. Look, Trae, I feel like he's also injury prone, along with being not able to really carry a team the way a bigger player would be able to. So I don't see them making the plan this year.
So you see kind of like remember what Becky Hammond said about Brunson? Being too small to kind of guide a team, even though Trae Young has led a really bad Hawks team to the conference finals.
Yeah.
He did that.
I think
But there was a better constructed team around him.
That's fair.
What do you think about that?
It's tough because like that Hawks team, looking back on it now, really wasn't that good.
They were good at the time.
They were that was the best years of John Collins. Clint Capella was okay. Kevin Herter was okay. DeAndre Hunter was better. He's really bad. He's not bad now, but he's a bad contract
injury
now.
prone.
So I think I would argue this team's got a higher ceiling this year, where Jalen Johnson's going to be in the most improved conversation, where you have Dyson Daniels, who couldn't get any minutes in New Orleans, is going to get a ton of point of attack minutes in this Hawks team.
Do you think Trae Young could play at the same level he played in during that series against?
Absolutely.
You think he still has that capability?
The way Trae Young played against the Knicks, Bucks, and Sixers, until he got hurt, he was great.
So you think, okay.
Yeah, and I think also you look now at the Hawks, they're better coached. Like Quinn Snyder is infinitely better than Nate McMillan.
This is
true.
So
this is true.
They kind of rode on that high with him.
If I had to redo this, I would swap the Hawks and the Pistons. I still wouldn't have the Hawks making it into the play-in.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. So do you have any other questions for Gio? Mm-mm. All right, let's move into ours. Now, Antoine, you could read yours first.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So we have Nets in last, Wizards in 14th, Raptors in 13th, Hornets in 12th, and Pistons in 11th.
Okay.
That is how the cookie crumbles.
What, Raptors?
I know we're tanking, but you cannot tell me that the Wizards are a better basketball team than the Brooklyn Nets. There's no way.
Yeah, nah.
The Wizards' point differential, I know it's preseason, but they were losing those games by like 50.
Oh,
bro.
yeah, of course.
They are not good.
Wizards are dog.
But
I think it goes either way. Raptors, I think, are going to have a poo-poo year.
I didn't realize you put the Raptors.
They're going to have a
That's
poo-poo
what I'm
year.
saying.
Hornets,
Okay.
I think, a little better year, and same as you, Pistons are in 11th.
So in 15th, I have the Washington Wizards. In 14th, I have my Brooklyn Nets. In 13th, I have the Charlotte Hornets. In 12th, I have the Detroit Pistons. And in 11th, I have the Chicago Bulls.
Nothing wrong. I think the Bulls, they're in my play-in, but they're bottom play-in, so I could see that definitely fluctuating in and out.
I think the Bulls pull a Mavs. I think they blow it up at the dedeadline and just tank away.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I could see Levine gone easily.
I don't see it. I think they're going to have a 2023 Dallas Mavericks.
Okay.
That's what I see.
I think they make plan.
In all actuality, I would probably swap the Pistons and Hornets, but I think it's just based on health.
Okay.
So I actually thought I put the Pistons lower. So never mind. I don't think they're crazy high then. But
All right.
yeah, I don't know. It's tough. But yeah, I think the Nets are not trying to be the worst team in the league because for the past 5-ish years now, the worst record in the league has not won the lottery.
Yeah.
But it also guarantees you won't get anything outside the top 5.
Yeah.
But I clearly think the Wizards are the worst team in the NBA, and I think there will be a gap between them and Brooklyn.
Okay.
Like, I don't see the Wizards winning more than like 16 games this year.
There'll be like a 5-6 game gap.
I think they have talent. I don't know if it'll be close. I'm seeing the Nets trading pieces at the deadline as well.
Oh, yeah, no, we'll definitely be moving pieces
Now,
around.
wait. Before we move on, why do you have the Raptors that low?
Because they're poo-poo.
How?
Wow.
They're just
You don't think Scotty,
Emmanuel Quickly.
I think
Brady Dick, RJ Barrett?
Listen, I think they're gonna be good, but I don't think they're gonna be as good as advertised.
you have
that's a
13.
good lineup. They have
It is a decent lineup.
like they even still have Bruce Brown.
Yeah.
I'm not
And
sold.
who's their big guys?
They have
Jakob
Jakob
Poeltl.
Poeltl.
Jakob Poeltl's
He'll be
solid.
he'll be
I
gone
think-
at the deadline. That's who I
Really?
think New Orleans goes after.
Okay.
We'll see. I don't know. I think it's just gonna be poo-poo.
I think
RJ
they're
Barrett's
solid.
poo-poo.
We'll have to see because remember the Raptors also have no incentive to tank because San Antonio has their pick from the Pirtle
Right.
trade.
I
Yeah.
think they're going to be going balls to the wall, baby.
I don't know.
They're going to be going all for it.
All right.
Yeah,
And they got some decent players, so.
they do.
They do. I'm
Betty-
not discounting it.
Betty's going to send you a strongly worded text message.
Yeah.
Listen, Scotty's going to be great. I think Raptors can be fluctuating with Hornets and Pistons. I think it'll be fairly close, but I think Pistons Hornets are on top.
I guess, but I still don't. I think putting them at 13th is very disrespectful.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll have to see. I think he's just salty that they have 2 former Knicks players.
I don't want any of them back, but
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
do.
I
You
would
wouldn't
want,
want
I would
Quickly?
want,
Yeah,
I
you
would want
do.
Quickly back, not RJ.
You would want both of them back. Let's be honest.
No, not RJ.
You don't need
Quickly.
RJ. You have enough wings.
Quickly, easily,
yeah,
quickly
definitely.
for
Yeah.
6-man point guard.
Definitely.
That's true. But yeah, any final thoughts regarding the eliminated teams?
No.
All right, let's get into the play-in. So I'll start with mine because I am headlining this section. So in 10th place, I have the Toronto Raptors. In 9th, I have the Atlanta Hawks. In 8th, I have the Orlando Magic. And in 7th, I have the Miami Heat. I was fighting tooth and nail to put the Heat in 6th, but I just couldn't.
I have nothing wrong with this besides the Magic. They should be out of the play-in.
Ooh, into the playoffs?
Yes.
Here's my theory with
I
Orlando.
think I agree with that.
They should be out. Philly should be in this play-in, which I'm surprised it's not.
You think Philly should be in the play-in?
Philly.
They were last year. but
Philly's
that
in
was
my
when
play-in.
Do you think Embiid, I know Embiid will miss games, but do you really think he'll miss like 50 games this year? I don't think
No.
he will.
No way.
But here's my thing, though. It's like Orlando, everything went right last season with regard to the East being really shit, right? So this year, a lot of teams got better. Yes, I think KCP is going to be a great fit, but I think this team will take a slight step backwards, just like Sacramento did last year. Because remember, Sacramento finished third in 2023 and was in the play-in this year and didn't get out of it. With Orlando, I think it's going to be hard to replicate what they did last year for 2 years in a row. And this is all part of development because they are a young team, right? With Paolo, with Jalen Suggs, and with Franz Wagner. They're all on big money now. We don't know if they're going to take the extra leap. I know Paolo will, but will the rest? That's where my sort of thought process is. And it's always safe to assume that one team from the top 6 will fall into the play-in the next season. And one team from the play-in, i.e. Philadelphia, will get themselves out.
Okay.
So that's kind of my frame of reference on this.
Okay.
I didn't want to put the Magic there, but kind of just looking at it, that's just kind of how they wound up.
Okay.
All right.
I guess. Good argument.
guess.
Good case.
Yeah.
But I have the much higher, I have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you guys do because I
Yeah.
made the graphics. But
Let's get to ours. What do we have?
do you have any other questions for me?
No, I think that's a fine play-in.
Gio?
Besides the Magic.
Let me see. I think the Heat are a little high.
No, I think I have
Actually, no.
7 or 8.
Yeah, the Heat are kind of where they always are.
They're good right there, yeah.
This is a Jimmy contract year, so we'll see kind of what happens there.
Yeah.
Let's get into yours. So, Antoine, do you want to read yours off first?
Yeah, so we have Hawks at 10, Bulls at 9, Heat at 8, and Sixers at the top of the play-in at 7.
Yeah, Sixers. That's why he was talking about the Sixers in the play-in. Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to read yours first before I ask Antoine my question?
Yeah, let me go first. So I have Raptors at 10, Bulls at 9, Cavs at 8, and Heat at 7.
Okay.
Yeah, he is not a Cavalier believer, which is fine. I think that could happen.
Not
Wow.
believe land.
Okay. All right.
I don't believe in the Cavs, man.
I have the Cavs higher.
Yeah, so do
Yeah,
I.
I know. I know that.
But
Yeah.
not much higher than you.
Yeah.
I need you to explain yourself.
For the Cavs?
Yeah, I need you to go in depth here because I'm very perplexed by this.
I think they're just a mid team. Always will be a mid team. Unless they get another generational talent like LeBron James. They're just a mid organization. Okay, so they need that player that can just carry the franchise like LeBron James did. And if they don't have that player, they're not the type of organization that's going to win.
Okay.
That's just how I feel about the Cavs.
I think
Like if you think about a winning organization, you can think about
it's the Celtics. They're,
Yeah,
they're
the
the gold
Celtics.
standard. The Lakers.
Right.
Same thing.
Let's
Historically.
Let's go with the Celtics here.
Yeah.
I feel like they always, whether or not they have that player, they're in there. They're in the mix. You know what I mean? They're
Right,
They're
yeah.
always in the mix, whether or not they have that player that carries the load. Now the Cavs, they're not that type of organization. They need that player that can carry the burden of carrying a franchise.
Right.
And they don't have that player.
So you obviously don't believe in Donovan
I
Mitchell.
don't.
Okay. I agree with you, but in the playoffs.
Okay.
They're mid in the playoffs, but I think they're a good regular season team.
Okay.
And I think Kenny Atkinson's proven that with us, that we are a good regular season team. He kind of molded us, and he has a much better team than he did in Brooklyn, obviously with Donovan Mitchell. I also do think that they can get that star using Darius Garland, because we did see reports that Darius Garland would request a trade if Donovan Mitchell extended. So, and the return for Garland could be good. We don't know who it
It could be. It could be.
'Cause he's
what
the-
are their needs if they would trade him?
Ideally,
have really big guys.
Ideally, you need a good wing, a really good wing. Who that might be, I have no idea. But I think that could be, maybe it's someone like, I don't know, Brandon Ingram maybe.
Yeah.
He could solve a
Interesting.
need of added scoring. I think DeRozan could have been a good option, but they were never going to trade interdivision.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
interesting. Yeah, I heavily disagree with that. And I also actually heavily disagree with the Sixers in 7th.
Yeah, me too.
I
need you
don't
to explain
I
health?
think Embiid health, and I don't think Paul George works out well for them.
Well, Paul George, we saw he had the most zesty injury.
Yeah, I don't think that works out.
I love it.
That's the main reason why.
Okay.
But like I said, they could easily get out of that plan. I think the 3-7 is going to be fairly close in games. just depending on how it falls.
just like last year.
Yeah.
'Cause I think the East is going to be fairly banged up this year from top to bottom, even Boston included. But I think, I don't know. I think last year was a car crash season for the Sixers.
Yeah.
I think this year they kind of get themselves out of it.
I agree
All right.
1,000%.
But do you have any
It's
questions
hard.
for Antoine Gio?
No. What do you think?
Mm,
I think it's fairly similar to yours,
Yeah,
minus
it
a
is.
few teams.
yeah, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all have the Heat and the play-in.
Yeah.
It's pretty standard. We all have one team that's either out of it or in the playoffs that we all have to
Yes.
play in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
interesting. So we're ready to get into the top 6.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
This is where the most controversies come in. So Antoine, read yours away.
All right. So Milwaukee at 6,
Wow.
Cleveland at 5, Orlando at 4, Indiana at 3, New York at 2, and Boston at 1.
You know, I'm happy we have this written down. So
Yes.
when the season ends, we can go back to this and see how bad these predictions are.
When the Knicks finish in
This
7th.
is
Oh, I knew from the
not
beginning.
going to be bad. Nope. This is how it's going to land.
Well, you need to justify putting the Bucks at 6. I feel like because
Bucks
They're
at
pretty
6 because of
stacked.
Dame and Giannis chemistry, I think, is in
continues to struggle.
Yeah, and Middleton's out for a little
We'll
bit.
talk about that more.
Cleveland and Orlando, I think, same as last year, 4 and 5.
Just swapped around.
Yes, correct.
And Pacers,
Indy's
Knicks.
up there 3, but nothing. And then New York is
Knicks.
Can I be honest?
second.
Can I be honest? You have the Pacers high.
I don't think they're.
And I'm very high on the Pacers.
I think the Pacers are in a good spot.
I think that's fine.
I think last year was so scarring for them with the Halliburton injury that I think they're going to kind of coast through the regular season a little bit. That way they're ready for the playoffs.
Maybe. I mean, I would put them definitely lower, but
Yeah, I have them lower.
it wouldn't surprise me if they're
Yeah.
at 3.
Yeah.
no.
I think I put them lower solely based on the way the playoff bracket worked. I think they'll finish higher. I think they can, but I do have them low.
I would swap Pacers and Bucks if you ask me, and then I would
Wow.
swap Knicks and Sixers.
Wow. You are smoking.
Nah,
you
I
are
wouldn't-
smoking
I wouldn't go that
something.
crazy. But I would definitely
mean,
have the Sixers.
It is a viable option for the Knicks to finish second. It's just a matter of chemistry and health.
That's what I'm banking on.
That's what we're-
why they're second.
We'll
So we
see.
don't
Hey,
know.
Okay.
But
That
we'll
is
have to see.
why
All right. Let me read my list here.
All right, so Gio, read yours.
So I got the Pacers at 6. Me and Tyler were matching.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Magic at 5. Knicks at 4. Bucks at 3. Sixers at 2. Celtics at 1.
So you are very high on the 76ers, even
I
though
am indeed.
He's
we're
been
already
saying
banged
that.
up.
He's been saying that.
I am indeed.
This is where I heavily disagreed. So in 6th, I have the Indiana Pacers.
Yep.
In 5th, I have the Milwaukee Bucks. In 4th, I have the New York Knicks. In 3rd, I have the Philadelphia 76ers. In 2nd, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers.
He's the believer.
And in
Insane.
1st, I have the Boston Celtics. Look,
He's the believer.
there's
in Cavs.
there's one mid-ass team every year that just stupidly overperforms in the regular season
Yeah.
and get themselves a top 3 seed. And I
know
think
what?
the Cavs are this year's recipient.
Okay. Hey, the way you put it like that, man, you're very convincing.
Well,
I'll
they're,
tell you that.
they're not bad. It's just
I think it's gonna work, and I just think they're gonna take advantage of the Pacers kind of taking it easy, the Bucks being injured, the Knicks being
Wow.
injured, the Sixers kind of being a little off their rocker. I think the Cavs will have a very, very good regular season.
Wow. All right. So we all have the Celtics at 1.
correct.
I think we all
Yeah.
kind of assumed that.
Yeah, but the Cavs at 2, I still can't get over that.
That's big.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think a lot of what went wrong for Cleveland last year was a lot of the distractions involving Donovan Mitchell. Like, is he going to stay? Is he going to get traded? There's no more distractions now. It's just straight business, straight hoops. I think the only question mark is will Garland and Donovan Mitchell mesh together?
Yeah.
I think that's the only sort of option at this point regarding that. As far as
Yeah.
that goes, because
Okay.
and even if they trade Garland, I think whoever they get back can help them make a push, i.e., like Siakam to the Pacers last year, just added depth. Now, my question for you is: you have the Bucks very high.
I do.
I need explanations.
I don't want to talk too much about that right now because we're going to get into that a little bit later.
Okay,
But I think, in short, I think the Bucks, they have the potential to be the most dominant team in the NBA. I'll just say that
oh wow,
and end it right there.
okay,
Okay. I'm not discounting that at all.
Just look at their starting 5.
Yeah, I know.
Take a look, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I don't hate it, but like, it's just tough considering that Dame played better when Giannis was off the floor, and the fact that Middleton hasn't been the same since they won the championship. I just still don't think their depth is convincing enough. I think Gary Trent Jr. is your only real option.
Portis. Come on, man. Bobby Portis?
He's good, but like compare it
Nice.
compare it to some other backups.
We've seen Bobby Portis take over games in the playoffs as well.
Right, but Bobby Portis is approaching 90 years old.
Nah.
Like there's not much. I'm still a little on the fence with Brook Lopez at this day and age.
Yep.
I don't know for sure if he'll even
big.
be a buck by that point.
Yeah.
But I think he's kind
a
of
bit old.
fallen off a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, so Horford as well, but he still contributes.
Right. Yeah, I guess. But we'll just have to see going forward, I
will.
guess.
Yeah.
But
We will see.
yeah, lads, that concludes our conference standings. Do we have any thoughts, comments, concerns before we move in to the next batch?
Let's move.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue these predictions. Obviously, we record these in spurts for those that don't know, and this was a pretty long segment, so we didn't want to destroy our PCs or anything like that because we do lag from time to time. So let's get into the next batch. So obviously, we're going to go through the in-season tournament, now called the NBA Cup. And we saw last year its debut season. It wasn't bad, or I guess its inaugural season. We saw the Lakers take down the Pacers in the finals, which honestly seemed pretty scripted to get LeBron at least one for his legacy. But, it's a story for another day. But we're going to predict the in-season tournament this year. Now, we're going to predict the semifinals and finals, the 4 teams that go to Las Vegas for the tournament. So we'll reveal them at the same time, but we'll read them off one by one. So are we ready to get into it?
Let's go.
This is so
All right.
hard.
Let's start off in the West because these are all just anything can happen.
Yeah.
So
we have no idea.
we'll start off in the Western Conference, and on the screen right now for the viewers on YouTube, you should be able to see it. But for the audio listeners and everything, we can read through. So Antoine,
Wow.
what do you got?
Me and Tyler have one team accurate. Oh, so do you guys.
Yeah, we each
Wow.
We're kind of in the same.
We're in the same ballpark here.
So for those on Spotify, Antoine has the Thunder versus the Grizzlies. I have the Thunder versus the Pelicans, and Gio has the Kings versus the Pelicans. So there's really no sort of basis off of why
there's no basis.
just wild shots in the dark.
I see everything happening here.
I mean, we both picked the Pelicans and we both picked the
Thunder.
Thunder.
Tyler.
So why do we do that?
We're just going off of teams that we can see getting, I guess, the top team in the West getting in, and then a sleeper team, which is the Pels for you guys.
The Pelicans made the semifinals last year
Yeah.
before losing to the Lakers.
Yeah.
The Lakers
Yeah.
really terrorized that franchise last year.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Just really
This is a
could be
toss-up.
anything. But the question is, who do we have winning? And this is who we have winning. Oh, sorry. I fucked
Eastern
up.
Conference.
Whoa!
The Eastern Conference. We'll talk about the other one later.
Whoa! 6 different teams.
Six
Yeah,
different
that's pretty
teams.
Crazy.
We're the Knicks.
So,
Excuse me.
you're
Yo,
a Knicks fan.
These
Why
are
didn't you put
these
them on there?
are the 6 playoff teams that are not the Knicks.
Yo,
We're all canceled. That's
Are we
it.
predicting
Skip
the
the
future right now?
segment. Skip the segment.
Antoine has the Boston Celtics versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. I have the Orlando Magic versus the Milwaukee Bucks. And Gio has the
Wow.
Philadelphia 76ers versus the Indiana Pacers.
Well played, fellas. We chose the 6 teams in the East that are not the same.
I love this.
I like it.
No Knicks in sight. This is great.
Wow.
Amazing day.
That's because you got them winning the finals, right?
No.
Okay.
He's already said that at the beginning of
Wow.
the show.
Again, this could all be
Again,
plausible.
no bases off to any of these. All we know last year is that Indy made the final, Milwaukee made the semifinal, and Boston made the quarterfinal. And both the Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks lost to the Pacers en route.
I like
to
the Bucks
championship.
pick.
Yeah, I think this Bucks team has a very short window this year, and I think the in-season tournament is that short window.
I think Dame will go off enough for them to
Yeah.
make the semifinal. Yeah.
Yeah, Giannis will perform very well in the in-season tournament.
Yeah.
So now the question is, who do we have winning? I didn't realize we didn't make the graphic for it. These are our in-season tournament finals. And they are as follows. So Anthony has the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. I have the New Orleans Pelicans versus the Orlando Magic. And Gio has the New Orleans Pelicans versus the Indiana
All right.
Pacers.
You guys are there with the Pels. I know no disagreements there.
No disagreements.
I think the Pels bounced back from last year in a good way.
I think so too.
The Eastern
I'm
teams.
big on the Pels this year.
He's very high on Memphis.
Yes.
Very high on Memphis.
Memphis is the sleeper this year, and you'll see why
Okay.
with the next slide.
Yeah. Do we have any questions regarding this before we move on to the champs?
Let's go to the champs.
So this is who we have winning the in-season
Bum,
tournament.
bum, bum.
And the tournament MVPs. So a couple weeks ago when we did, or about like a month or two ago when we did this, we had looked at the groups when they revealed them. We gave our early winners, and shockingly, none of us changed, including him.
Really?
We've all stood on business.
Oh wow.
Bum,
So-
bum, bum.
Antoine has the Memphis Grizzlies winning it, with Ja Morant getting tournament MVP. I have the Orlando Magic winning it, with Paolo Banchero getting tournament MVP. And Gio has the New Orleans Pelicans winning it, with Zion Williamson winning the tournament MVP. So can I just get some general thought process for just all three of us?
You have
For-
the Muffin Man winning MVP.
He literally said he got
The Muffin
you have
Man.
the Muffin Man.
Does bro look like the muffin? Look at him in that picture. He's jacked.
the Doughboy,
Bro is
the
jacked.
Doughboy,
He literally looks like
He's jacked.
the Schmo Boy.
He looks like a bodybuilder, bro.
He is.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He's in good shape this year,
looks
so
good.
He's got
they're
a
gonna
beard now.
good.
they're gonna do well in the NBA Cup and in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this is just of who's hot at the time this cup happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think the Grizzlies are going to be hot.
yeah.
I think the typical teams that do well in this tournament will make the play-in. That's why I have the Magic winning it.
Fair.
So it checks out because the Lakers made the play-in last year.
Right.
I think the Magic will do the same thing.
Okay.
I think Paolo will shine early. They'll struggle later on in the season and get themselves back down. So that's kind of my frame of reference on it.
Okay.
I like the Grizzlies pick, even though it's risky as hell.
No, they're going to be.
And the Pels pick is based.
So
I
good.
respect it. So
Yeah. Listen, they can go any way for these teams that win this cup. I don't know.
it's all just chance.
Yeah.
If any of us, so what we're going to do actually, that's what I forgot to talk about. Excuse me. And we'll get into this when the awards come around in just a moment. Any of our predictions, we're going to go on a point system and we'll look back on this at the end of the season.
Yes.
So let's say, for example, the in-season tournament final. If we correctly predict the winner, let's say the Grizzlies win, Antoine will get 3 points. If they make
Okay.
the final and lose, he'll get 1 point. If they don't make the final, no points.
This.
It'll work for the standings. So for the standings,
most points
for the
wins.
standings, if you get the spot on prediction, then you'll get 3 points. If they're one spot off, higher or lower, it's 1 point. More than that, nothing.
Okay.
And with the awards, if they're a finalist, you get 1 point. If you correctly predict the winner, you get 1 point.
So we'll tally everything up at the end of the season. Whoever has the most points
Wins.
wins what?
Loser does either the winner gets a prize or the loser does a forfeit.
Got it.
So either or. But-
Sick.
I like
All
it.
right.
all right. Before we get into the awards, we have two miscellaneous predictions we'll get into.
Yes.
The first one we have is the first head coach that will get fired this season. All three of us have gone for different answers. So Antoine has gone for Bulls
D.
coach Billy Donovan.
Yes.
I have gone for Wizards coach Brian Keefe. And Gio has gone for Blazers coach Chauncey Billups.
I am not surprised with Chauncey Keefe just because he got the job. That's a little shocking.
I mean, he was an interim named head coach 1 year after Jacques Vaughn was named interim head coach. He got canned. So anything
Yeah.
can happen.
Right.
All right.
I'm curious by the Billy Donovan
I
pick,
agree.
considering you put them in the play-in.
Billy D.
I think they start off putrid.
Oh, okay.
The next head coach that comes in turns it around.
Interesting.
Do we have any just random shouts for their replacements for each of our respective coaches?
No.
Bull,
It's really hard to call.
I don't know names off the top of my head right now.
That's fair.
Maybe like a
I
little.
don't know.
It's tough to call.
It is.
It is very tough to call.
I can't see an assistant leaving a top team to go coach a new team mid-season.
I don't see it happening.
It would have to be
They have
someone
to-
off the couch.
They have to get permission. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's got to be an unemployed person right
Yeah.
now, and we don't know who that would be.
no idea.
So that is fair. But yeah, for any of these picks, obviously, if you guys have any underrated shouts, let us know down in the comments.
Yeah.
You know. So anything else regarding this before we move on to the next one?
No.
The other one is the first star that we predict will get traded this season, and this is who we picked. So Antoine has gone for Zach Levine,
I like the pick.
and me and Gio have gone for Brandon
No,
Ingram. Gio,
no.
we are here, bro.
No.
We're there.
Don't listen to him. I literally said on the phone, Zach Levine / Brandon Ingram.
Yeah.
I had
He
to pick
didn't-
one. I had to pick one. The first name is usually the most likely one.
I think BI, just because I think he's on his way out. Levine is harder to trade right now.
So who are you going to go with right now? Go with Levine, man.
I'll go with Levine, but BI I think is more likely because he's on his way out.
It's really tough because I think both could easily get traded. It's just a matter of who goes first.
I think
Right.
Levine, they've been saying they're going to trade him and it hasn't happened.
Well,
But I
'cause
think this year that happens.
if he's healthy, he will get easily moved, but he has no
Yeah.
value right now. But I was debating on Harden,
Oh,
but he's not getting traded till the deadline. There's going to be someone traded beforehand.
yeah.
So I've gone for Brandon Ingram. I think it's an easy choice. I think he'll be easily out the door by like January.
yeah.
So, any predictions on where we think both of these athletes will go? Any early doors shouts?
Ingram, you said Cleveland.
I was thinking Sacramento
I'm
until they got
not-
DeRozan.
I think Cleveland would be a good spot
If
for him.
Chris Middleton's out for a long time, Milwaukee for Brandon Ingram?
No.
Nah, I think
I don't like that.
Levine would be more likely for Chris Middleton.
Really?
Yes,
All right.
I low key could see Zach Levine going to the Clippers.
Yeah.
I
don't
could
know.
see it
Maybe.
happening. Brandon Ingram, it's tough. Low key, I could see Brandon Ingram going to Miami.
Interesting.
I could see that.
What about the
for-
Warriors?
Oh yeah, you know what? I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think the Warriors are still under the mindset that they can get Giannis. So I don't think they do anything yet because I think that is their dream move is to get Giannis in Golden State. But I don't know. It's tough. I thought we thought these two categories would be interesting to kind of talk
Yeah,
about.
no, they are.
So any final thoughts regarding this before we get into the NBA awards?
No, let's go awards.
All right, we are into the NBA awards. We have a bunch of awards to go through. You know, we're in depth. We don't do just the main three. We do every postseason award outside of all NBA because it's really hard to predict of what we think is going to happen this year. So the first award we're going to get into is Executive of the Year. This goes to the general manager / president of basketball ops that does the best job at offseason moves and signings and draft picks that results in a deep playoff run, et cetera, et cetera. And this is who we have selected. So myself and Antoine have both gone for Sam Presti
A legend.
of the OKC Thunder.
Love
And
Sam.
Gio has gone for a back-to-back call of Celtics president of basketball ops, Brad Stevens. Now, we typically don't see back-to-backs with this award, so I need to know your thought process behind this.
Well, look, man. Look, the Celtics are going back to back. Well, actually, no, I don't have them going back to back, but it's likely that they do.
Okay.
And so, for that reason, I think Brad Stevens is always going to be in that conversation.
I think it's tough, though, because last year they made such strategic moves to put them in this spot.
Right.
Like the Porzingis trade, and they made up for the smart loss by getting Holiday. They didn't
Yeah.
really do much in the offseason outside of re-signing their guys.
Which is big.
Which is,
It is-
that's why. Yeah,
It's true, but
That's huge.
my argument, and I'm assuming speaking for both me and Antoine here, were like the one issue OKC had was rebounding. They went out and got Isaiah Hartenstein.
Right.
So like strategic moves that can get you far along in the playoffs, I think is really important.
Yeah, and then drafting Topic is just another thing to, the good moves.
Yeah.
And he has the picks for next year as well.
Yeah, I think Presti's a good, yeah.
I think the real test with Presti will he ever trade the draft picks? No. I don't think he ever will.
Come on.
He loves them.
I know Presti by now. He's not going to do that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty standard with executive of the year. I don't think
Yeah.
there's the debating ones will be later on. So next up we have coach of the year. Now this is pretty self-explanatory for the best coach or the most improved coach, depending on where they were in seasons prior. And let's get into it. So Antoine has gone for Mark Dagnall, another repeating one. I was really fighting tooth and nail between Kenny Atkinson and Joe Mazzulla.
Yeah.
But I think that Kenny Atkinson could get it easily, but I think the Celtics are going to win a stupid amount of basketball games in the regular season. And I think because he didn't get it last year,
Joe
Mazzulla, I think, is my pick.
That's a good pick.
And Gio has also gone for Ime Udoka.
What the hell? Well, this is one of the worst coaches in all of NBA. What the
No,
fuck?
listen.
I adore that.
Hear
pick.
hear
Adore
my
it.
argument for this, okay?
Explain yourself.
So usually when they have a coach of the year, they pick the best team with the coach that's coaching that team, and so that's usually how it goes. Like a top 2 seed team, it usually goes to that coach.
Right.
I don't have the Rockets in a top 2 seed,
Yeah.
but I have the Rockets improving drastically, and so because of that, I think Ime Udoka is in the conversation for Coach of the Year, and I think they're going to give it to just like how they gave Russell Westbrook the MVP when he was like a 6 seed.
Same with Jokic.
Same thing with Jokic.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be similar to that. Now they're finally going to give a coach their credit where it's due, because if you bring a franchise from that was here and you bring them up here, even though they're not the 1 or 2 seed, there's a huge improvement. I think that's enough to win you Coach of the Year, and I think they're going to do that this year.
Here's why I like that, because I don't necessarily think there's going to be a team that drastically improves all the way up to a top 2 seed. Right. So I think Missoula is kind of my safety net pick in case Cleveland doesn't get the 2 seed.
Yeah.
But if that doesn't happen, Ime Udoka should be an option for this award.
I think he's an amazing coach.
On how Houston performs.
It's
They're
critical
gonna be
on
good,
that.
yes.
Yeah.
Critical on that. And I don't think I put Houston that high, but if I had to go back and change that, I would. I would put Houston pretty up there.
All right.
My question for you is that you have the Thunder performing worse than they did last year. So why do you have Dagnall winning it again?
I just think Dagnall, from the acquisitions they got as well, and they're going to be similarly close to the Nuggets. I think with SGA getting MVP possibly as well is going to be big. But I think just Dagnall coaching this team when all the new guys coming in is going to be big.
Okay.
I think they'll give it to him again.
That's fair. So I think off of your mindset, Michael Malone would be a better shout with regard to getting the 1 seed and all that stuff. But I don't have a problem with Dagnall winning it again. I think he's in the conversation. He could win it again. So, yeah, not bad regarding that. So any final questions on Coach of the Year?
No,
sir.
All right, let's move into the next award. This one could be anything. It's Clutch Player of the Year. We still don't know the parameters and the criteria for this award. It's typically just gone to whoever performs the best with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. That's what crunch time necessarily is. So these are our picks. Antoine has stuck with home and gone for Jalen Brunson.
I like the pick, though.
Bam!
I don't mind it. I've gone for DeMar DeRozan, and Gio has gone for Ja Morant.
I have no issues with any of these 3
Me
players.
neither.
Yeah, I think all 3 could win. I think the only thing with Ja is, will he play 65 games?
Yeah, that's huge. For him.
Yeah.
I think he should.
He should.
That's the hope. But I think Ja is very super competitive, and he's always going to have the ball in his hands. So that's why there's a big reason why I think he's going to be pretty clutch. I think he has that factor to him.
Yeah.
That it factor. I think he has it. So
I think Brunson's got a real shot at winning
I think
this.
so too.
Dude, like if Mikal Bridges shoots the way he did in preseason, I think Brunson easily
Why
wins
did he
it.
change his shooting form?
I don't know.
What did he do that for?
I don't know.
That's a whole nother
We'll see what happens.
Well, because his old shooting form in Brooklyn was still ass. So, like,
We'll watch tomorrow and see.
you basically traded 6 first-round picks for Markelle Fultz.
God.
Thank you.
It's amazing. But, yeah. And I think for me with DeMar, he easily could have and should have won it the past 2 years.
Yes.
So, I think they'll probably give it to him now.
Maybe.
Now that he's on a better team.
A pity clutch player of the year award.
Yeah. So, we'll see. But,
All right.
all right. I forgot the order of what is next. I want to say it's most improved player.
improved.
So it should be most improved player. Self-explanatory. Whoever does the best from last season. Now, we did not do injuries as a factor. We just did this based off of last season and improving to this year. So if you're wondering where's Ja, where's Randall, where's whoever, that wasn't the criteria we set. So these are, it's Sixth Man of the Year.
Sixth Man of the Year.
I knew I was missing one. So Sixth Man of the Year, the best sixth man off the bench who performs.
Devo.
Antoine has gone for Dante DiVincenzo.
Back home.
And both me and Gio have gone for Malik Monk. Now, I'm shocked you did not go for Russell Westbrook.
Well, no, I have to be realistic here.
Okay, fair.
I think those years of Russ putting up, let's say, 17 to 22 points per game is past. So
Yeah.
let's
I mean,
be
Monk
realistic.
averaged like 18 last year.
Yeah. So let's be real. I think Monk is an outstanding player. He could have won it last year. I think he's going to do it this year.
He should have won it
I think
last
even
year.
Nas Reed could go back to back, but I think Monk will pull it out.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Monk was robbed, in my opinion, last year.
Think so?
I think a lot of the Nas Reed played really well for like the last month.
Which is huge.
Right, the last month.
Recency
March
bias
is so
huge.
key to these
Yeah.
awards.
It really is.
So, yeah, it's tough. I like the Devo pick. Love it.
I think
you?
he has
Yeah, bro.
he has a chip on his shoulder and he's out for vengeance.
He's a shooting guard. He's not gonna play over Ant.
Yeah.
Okay.
So hell no. And I think he's gonna thrive in that bench role with Minnesota.
You know what?
Playing
He
next
just
to-
might do that.
He's out for vengeance.
How many does he get? What is he averaging?
He'll average probably less than 18.
So like 17 a
Yeah,
game.
he'll average 17.
I think that's
18 a
about
game.
I think
accurate.
it's a little high. I think he'll probably average around 14.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But I think he'll shoot. I'll say he shoots 42% from 3 this year.
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he'll be a sniper.
Are you letting it loose right now?
Yeah, man.
While recording is crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so now we move on to most improved player. And these are our picks. So
Wow.
We've gone for 3 puffy hair players. Antoine has gone for Cade Cunningham. I've gone for Cam Thomas, of course. And Gio's gone for Jalen Green.
I think these are all 3 worthy players.
Worthy players.
Yeah.
I have
Except
no-
for Cam Thomas. No, I'm playing.
No.
I have
no.
I have no issues with any of them.
Cam Thomas I think is probably a stretch, if you ask me.
Well, I mean, Cam Thomas is easily the biggest dark horse for
Yes.
this award.
That's
now,
what I mean.
keep this in mind, that Cade, it's still hit or miss on whether the season will be good for the Pistons. Jalen Green just signed his extension. Cam Thomas did not sign his extension, which means he will be a restricted free agent in the summer. So this is a contract year. And looking based on the deals, he could be getting upwards of $160 million over 4 or 5 years with the Nets. So I think he's really going to assert himself in his first full season of having the keys.
Right.
And I think I'm seeing Larry Markkinen with the Jazz minus an all-star appearance because I just don't see them giving him the love he deserves until the most improved.
Okay. So he's like extra motivated this year because all
know
the
what?
money's just right around the corner.
He could make the all-star team actually now that I think about it because the East isn't great.
Cam
Yeah,
Thomas.
I think
It depends.
I think he could average anywhere from 24 to 26 points a game.
Wow.
Yeah, it depends.
Okay.
So, and we'll see. I think Jordy Fernandez is diversifying his game more.
Yeah.
Like even during the preseason games, his defense has been a lot better. His playmaking's just improved dramatically. So it's a long shot for sure. I definitely think Jalen Johnson or Cade Cunningham has a much better shot. Even someone like Andrew Nemhard was someone I considered.
Interesting. Yeah.
But if I'm gonna go homer on one pick, it has to be Cam Thomas.
Okay.
Because I think his ceiling is stupidly high.
Yeah.
So
All right. Next is DPOY. I hope we have all the same 3.
yeah, before we get into that though, Gio, how convinced are you that Jalen Green will play good in the months not named March?
Well, he just
Well, look,
signed his rookie extension today.
He ended very well last year. And so I think that continues into this year.
Okay.
I think the coaching of Ime Udoka is also going to help develop his game as well. So as you can see, I'm pretty high on the Rockets this year.
Yeah.
Right.
Coaching wise, player wise.
But do you think that Reed Shepard's going to outplay him?
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
That's
way.
fair. And then
I'm
Cade,
not
I love
too-
the Cade pick. I think
Yeah.
it'll be good. So now we get into DPOY. All clamps, all incredible. Spoiler alert, not all 3 of us picked the same player.
Wow.
So here are our picks.
No.
So
way.
Wow, you suck.
me and Antoine have clearly picked
Wemby.
Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking.
However,
I was smoking something, bro. I was on crack.
No, you know what?
Mobley's
you know
not
what?
bad.
Gio's gone for Evan Mobley, but low key, if Victor Wembanyama gets hurt,
It is Mobley.
Evan Mobley is his
Yes.
to lose.
Look, I'm still
Correct.
smoking crack because I didn't put Victor Wembanyama. No, look. I even said in the episode earlier on, I said Victor's going to win it unanimously.
Victor.
And when I was making this list, I must have just completely forgot about Victor.
Yeah.
So
That's fine. Mobley's up there.
look, Mobley will be second place.
That's
He's probably
fine.
he would probably get like second place, but I think Victor's going to win.
You know what he's going to do? He's going to teach you a lesson to stand on business.
Yeah.
10 toes down with the Evan Mobley pick.
No, I'm not standing on business. I'm not standing on business.
Yeah, there's not much to really debate here. I mean, Wemby's going to have a
Wemby-
historically defensive season.
Absolutely.
I'm excited for it.
He's got the next 7 of these.
I don't really,
so.
bro. If Herb Jones has a defensive rating of under 100 as a center, it will be his. But that's not going to happen.
Nah, no way. He's
But
like $160.
Herb Jones, in my opinion, is the best defender in the NBA, not named Victor Wembanyama.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So if Wemby didn't exist, or if Wemby wasn't a freak of nature, it would
Give it to Herb.
have been my easy pick. But I can't go against Wemby. Like, come on, what are we doing?
Okay.
All right.
So
MVP?
Nope. Rookie
of
of
the
the year.
year.
now,
RTY.
I'm pleased to announce that all 3 of us picked different players.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So
Ooga.
here are the picks. So Antoine has
Ooh.
gone for Zachary Risache. I have gone for Zach Edey. And Gio has gone
like
for
that.
Reed Shepard. I was this close. I was this close to picking Zachary Risache.
I think Reed is going to get it if he plays a lot, but since that Rockets team is so stacked,
Yeah.
he's going to be on a bench role, I feel like.
why I asked you if you think he was going to outplay Jalen Green.
I don't think he's going to outplay. I think they're going to play off of each other
Okay.
very well, and that's why I'm so high on the Rockets this year, because they're going to be a dynamic duo
Yeah.
this
But
year.
they're both, you think, but no, Fred VanVleet's there.
Nah, get him out of
Yeah.
here,
No.
bro. Get
No.
Fred out of here.
And Reese
I think Fred
Shea-
should come off the bench.
Reese Shea and Ida are going to be starting heavy minutes every game.
I'm very high on Reese Shea. I think he's been very thrown under the radar or flown under the radar. A lot of people don't think he's that good, but I think he's going to really help out this Hawks team a lot.
Yeah.
And why I think they'll get into the play-in. But, I mean, Zach Edey just feels like the easy choice. I mean, they have no other centers. He's going to play heavy minutes at the 5.
I love that.
That's
pick.
fine.
Yeah,
He's going to eat with Ja.
Oh, absolutely. So I don't have a problem with any of the picks. All 3 could win.
Yeah.
And now we get into the final one, the most valuable
unanimous.
player. Most valuable player in the
Think it's
NBA.
unanimous?
2 of us picked the same player, and one of us did not.
Oh, Gio. You're
you-
so canceled.
What are you talking about Gio for, bro? It was you that picked the one that was.
Wow.
All right, so Antoine has gone for Nikola Jokic winning his 4th MVP in 5 seasons.
Wow.
And me and Gio have gone for the most aura in sports history, in human history, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah. Shea gets it this year.
Yeah.
He was this close to getting it last year.
Shea gets it this year.
I was really fighting on Jokic for such
you
a
actually?
long time.
I don't think Jokic gets 4 MVPs in 5 years.
Because here's my thing. I think Jokic is going to have the best season again in the NBA. But I think ESPN is going to do their typical bullshit. And I think they're going to push an SGA agenda. And I think he will get it.
That's what happens when you're the best player in the NBA. We saw that happen to LeBron James. Nobody can win 4 MVPs in 5 seasons.
Right.
Who does that?
They can. That's how good Jokic is. He dominates the league.
Yeah.
He's the best player in the league by some margin. So, but I think they're going to, that's why I have the Thunder finishing first. They'll give
Right.
SGA the respect
Right.
for that. Even though I think Jokic should get the MVP, I think they're going to give it to SGA.
Okay.
That's why he's my pick.
Yeah. Same.
So, and like I said, I think Jokic could easily get it.
Yeah.
So I have no issue with that pick. So, yeah, those were our NBA awards. Any final thoughts, comments, questions, concerns before we get into the playoffs?
Let's go.
All right, now that we've gotten the awards out of the way, it's time for what we've all been waiting for. It's the playoffs. So basically, we're going to predict both conference finals. We're going to go West champs, East champs, finals, champs, everything of that nature. So, yeah, lads, I mean, the only parameters we set, whatever our standings predictions was, the conference finals had to make sense. So if you had someone in 1st and someone in 4th, they can't play in the conference finals because they meet in the 2nd round. So it at least had to make sense for the bracket. So are we ready to get into it, lads?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, we're starting off in the Western Conference with the Western Conference Finals, and here are the matchups.
Anthony,
All
what's up, buddy?
3 of us have the Denver Nuggets. Antoine and Gio both have them playing the OKC Thunder, and I have a rematch of the 2nd round last year of the Nuggets versus the Timberwolves.
Yeah, it goes either way between these top 3 teams.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it boils down to.
It's going to be one of those 3.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, one of
That's
those
it.
3 will be included. Why the Thunder, though? I'm curious, especially for you, because you picked SGA to win MVP. And MVP has not gotten out of the 2nd round in years.
Oh, I didn't know that was a statistic. That's true.
That's why I did not pick the Thunder for the conference
Interesting.
finals.
So you're just going with the flow of things, how it's been going. Okay. Well, I don't know. I think huge addition in Hartenstein. I think Hartenstein is a playoff riser. I think that's going to help extremely, just generating more offensive possessions for the team. I think that's huge for the Thunder. So I have them in the conference finals.
I don't hate it. And I was fighting between, with my standings, putting the Mavs in 4th so they can get to the conference finals, but I just don't see them getting back.
No, me neither.
I just can't see it happening. But I don't hate the Nuggets Thunder on his perspective, but I think whoever wins MVP might falter off. So I guess essentially the Nuggets being in the conference finals, I might disagree with then.
All right.
So there's 2 prophecies in the playoffs here. I've only gone with one of them, and it wasn't this one.
Okay.
So now the question is, who did we have winning the series? My voice cracked. Who do we have winning the series? We all have the Denver Nuggets
Kaboom.
winning the series.
Look at that.
With Nikola Jokic taking home his 2nd Western Conference Finals MVP in 3 years.
Wow, look at that, man. What a guy.
Yeah.
What a lad. Why do we have the Nuggets over the Thunder? Just for the viewers' sake, just in case
I
they
think
disagree.
just playoff experience.
Yeah, Mike, get closer to the mic.
I think just playoff experience and just everyone in that team is going to be a playoff riser, including Jamal Murray.
Well, he is a playoff riser.
Yeah, but we'll see. He's healthy, but he should be. But yeah, I think it's just, and I think it'll go 6-7 games.
Yeah.
Easily.
I think contrary to what ESPN thinks, I think the Nuggets have improved this offseason because of the Russell Westbrook acquisition. I think he's going to be huge for them, specifically in the playoffs, specifically on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
And so that's why I have them beating the Thunder.
To me, I feel like the Nuggets didn't get worse. They didn't improve. I feel like they kind of stayed the same.
Say the same?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that still
'Cause
makes them the best.
Your
team in
bench
the West.
depth, your bench depth got better,
Right.
and your starting lineup got a little bit worse. That's why I don't have them finishing top of the West.
I disagree with the starting lineup. I think the starting lineup got better. I think
It's
KCP leaving actually helps the starting lineup because I think that allows MPJ to come into his true role to improve as a player,
Right.
and that also allows Christian Braun. Let's see what he can do.
Right.
We already know he's an outstanding defender.
He's an outstanding. It's hard because he's an outstanding defender, but he's nowhere near the shooter of
Definitely
KCP. Julian Strother is a miles better shooter than KCP, but not as good of a defender.
Right.
So I think both of them will alternate kind of throughout the year. But it's interesting. I know the Nuggets are going to experiment with MPJ at the 4, Gordon as a point guard. I know it's something that they want to do. I think Dario Saric is going to be really key to this team. I think they'll go as far as his bench depth will take them.
Interesting.
And when you got Nikola Jokic, I mean, he's going to put up generational
Right.
numbers.
Like one team has Jokic, the other team doesn't.
Right.
That's my decision.
Kind of looking at this matchup, it's interesting for your perspective because last year the Thunder really dominated the matchup against the Denver Nuggets. So it'll be interesting to see how a new improved Thunder team handles them. And
It
I
will
think
be.
the loss of Cat the Nuggets will stampede through Minnesota.
Oh, wow.
It won't be a challenge for them at all. So interesting there. So now let's get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
So,
And this is who we have. So all three of us, surprise, surprise, the Celtics make the finals. This was the one prophecy I had gone against because there has not been a defending champ to get out of the second round since the 2019 Warriors. But the East
Warriors
is
are
so
different.
bad that I think the Celtics will. So Antoine, surprise,
the East
surprise.
is not that bad. Come on, man.
It's bad compared to the West.
Yeah, but they're not that bad. Look at these teams here.
But if we're going off of last season, the fact
Yeah.
that 7th in the West had a better record than 2nd in the East.
Okay, well, that's last season. I think this is a new and improved East.
Right. So Antoine's gone for the homer route. Celtics versus Knicks. Surprise, surprise. I've gone for the Celtics versus the Pacers. So the conference finals rematch of last year. And Gio has gone for Celtics versus Sixers. So Embiid finally gets out of a second round.
Yes, indeed, he does, and I love it.
Is he the best player on the team, though, when he does it?
I think he does.
Okay.
Who else would be? It's not going to be PG. It's not going to be Maxi.
Could be. Could be.
No way.
Could
Yeah,
be.
could be.
Endemic P.
Could be.
Okay. Playoff P.
Playoff
We
P.
remember when
PP.
when Paul the last time Paul George played insane playoff basketball was in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
There is a different style of play
Yeah.
between both
He
conferences.
was also like 10 years younger.
Right. But you never know.
You're going to have, in his series, PP versus PP.
Okay,
Okay.
buddy. Get this guy out of
Yeah.
here.
I don't necessarily hate the Knicks being in the
I
conference
think that's the
finals.
most exciting.
No.
New York versus Boston. That's like, come on.
For media-wise.
I
That's
just
media.
I just don't like when the media is happy. I want underdogs in there.
Yeah.
That's why I have the
Alright.
Pacers in there.
Okay.
They're not underdogs, though.
They
No one-
definitely would
they're
be
not.
against
He
the
doesn't
Celtics.
have them as underdogs. He has them
They're
as
not
top 3
underdogs.
seeds. So.
That's true.
They're not
I just still can't take the Sixers seriously until they win a playoff series
Okay.
in the conference semifinals.
Alright.
So
Okay.
the real question is, who do we have making the finals? And you'll be pleased to know that we all have different choices.
Love that.
So here you go.
Wow, you have the Pacers going.
So Antoine has the Boston Celtics with
Yo.
Jason Tatum winning Eastern Conference Finals MVP.
Yeah.
And I have the Indiana Pacers going to the NBA Finals.
Wow.
I think Pascal Siakam's going to play better this series than
Yo.
Tyrese Halliburton
That's
and
insane.
win Conference Finals MVP. And you have the Philadelphia 76ers overperforming anything going to the finals with Joel Embiid getting Conference Finals MVP.
I say that's my MVP. He picked it.
But you picked Jokic to win MVP.
But I didn't say a specific MVP. I said a MVP.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right.
He is a MVP.
Let me hear your disagreements with me. Let me hear it.
Tyler, I mean,
You feel free. I will explain myself.
what is going on here with the Pacers? Why are they so good in the playoffs for you? Because they were were a 6 seed on your list.
They were a 6 seed last year, and if the games were 36 minutes, they would have gone to the NBA Finals in a sweep.
36 minutes. Yeah, but it's 40.
40, or I meant to say 40, 42. That's what I meant to say. Look, I'm very high on this team. They're honestly the only team outside of Boston I trust, and the only team I think that can beat Boston. Because based on how the bracket works, how I set it up, is that I think they would beat Philly in round 1 due to their injuries and lack of durability and all that stuff. And I think they easily take care of business in Cleveland in the second round.
Yeah.
And that sets them up with a date against Boston. Look, I think how would you say, how good was Tyrese Halliburton last year in your opinion?
He was very good.
And that was because he played most of the season injured. So if you imagine the way he plays without the injury, a full season of Pascal Siakam, who I think is one of the most underrated players in the league right now.
Yeah.
I think with a leap you're going to get from Andrew Nembhard, with the bench depth that they have, I think this team is destined to make a finals run.
It's a good case, man. And I understand that because they are an interesting matchup for the Celtics. So I could see why you go that direction.
Yeah, because I think right now with Boston, I'm a little weary of their durability with mainly Tingus Pingus. And I think, I don't know, it's going to be tough because Al Horford is just getting older. And I don't know if like Miles Turner and James Wiseman, I would trust more than Xavier Tillman. Right? Like TJ McConnell, I think, is going to really play a pivotal role in the playoffs again this year. So to me, that's super important. And I think, look, there's going to be a chip on their shoulders from last year. They were so close against this same team. So
Yeah.
that's why.
All right.
And now I need you to explain yourself.
Me?
Yes.
All right, well, look, here's the thing.
How does the most unserious team get to the NBA Finals?
No, they're going to be serious this year. Trust me.
All right, explain yourself.
They did a lot of stuff in the offseason. We know what they did. They acquired a lot of talent. They have a lot of firepower now. Their depth is outstanding, okay?
Yeah.
And I think Joel Embiid is going to have one of those seasons where he reminds us how dominant he is, okay? Because he dropped all the way down to, I think, top 8 or 9 on my list. But his ceiling is really top 3. Top 2, I would say.
I would say top 2 or 3. Really depends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to remind us, I'm the most dominant player since Shaq. He's going to remind us that.
You?
No. This is Embiid saying that. Well, me too, but
okay.
This is Embiid saying that.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, and I cannot wait for an Embiid Jokic NBA Finals. I cannot wait for it.
Okay. You know what?
I think it's going to happen.
We'll see.
I hope it does.
Yeah.
We shall see. I think if the Sixers do get to the finals, he will not be the best player on the team.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who you got being the best then?
Maxey.
Probably Paul George.
Do you think Paul George will be the best player?
I think getting away from the Clippers and Kawhi is going to invoke some new life into him. But I also don't see this team getting out of the first round. So
Wow.
so that's kind of how it is.
Okay.
But lads, this brings us to the NBA Finals, and these are the matchups. So Antoine has gone for the one that should have seen the past 2 years but haven't, the Celtics versus the Nuggets. I've gone for the Nuggets versus the Pacers, and Gio's gone for the Embiid Jokic masterclass of the Sixers and Nuggets.
I hope we have all the same teams.
So Gio,
Because now you have a preview of why.
there is something that Antoine did that we're about to see that is going to make you lose your socks.
What did you do?
So, are you ready to do we have any thoughts on the finals matchups first? Like a hypothetical of how it would go, not like in who would win, like how would the matchups be? Anything stand out to you?
No, it all could happen.
They all could, but I mean, like I think a Celtics versus Nuggets finals would be the purest form of basketball as far as the two best teams.
I agree with that.
Two most complete teams. You got the Goliaths with the Nuggets versus the Sixers.
Yeah.
And then I think you got two complete blue and gold teams. Kind of a team that's got a really stacked starting lineup with a team that has a really stacked bench.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think depth could play a key fixture into this. But any ideas on who we think wins the finals?
I mean, I know who I picked.
Right.
Yeah.
But do you think that we agree with you?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, not only do we all agree, but we don't agree on the finals MVP.
You put the wrong player for me.
You said the player for me last night.
Wait. Hold on.
When I talked
just
to
a
you
second
about
here.
it, you told me it was him.
No.
Yes.
I think I was trolling when I put MPJ. Let me just.
Oh, I did. I put it in the wrong spot.
He put the wrong player for me.
Yeah.
I have MPJ.
You have MPJ.
That was what it was.
I have MPJ.
That is totally my fault.
That
so
is
I will
hilarious.
fix it for the edit. So
I have MPJ.
So yeah. So all three of us have the Nuggets winning the finals. Me and Gio have Nikola Jokic taking his second finals MVP. And Antoine pulled it right out of his ass and chose Michael Porter Jr.
Hey, look. As long as the Nuggets win, I'm happy. 'Cause
Right.
Russ is on that team, but
Let me also preface that
Go for it.
the finals were MPJ's worst series 2 years ago. So I don't know if that could be replicated again. But
well, okay. So you have to talk first.
It's the series of MPJ
Why is he gonna go crazy in the finals?
because it is the series of MPJ.
Okay.
That's literally it. It is a series where he drops 30 plus every night.
Oh my god.
wow.
At
30?
least at least 30, maybe 25 plus.
Okay.
That's doable.
I
But
think
still,
he can do that.
25
still will not be good enough for finals MVP with Jokic on your team.
No, but
I think it might be-
Jokic is not getting 25 plus every night. He's getting
Oh, wow.
a little over 20. Maybe a little less
Wow.
than
If
20.
Jokic only gets that much, they're not winning.
Bro averaged 30 in the finals in 23. What are you talking about?
MPJ takes over. He solidifies himself as the elite wing of the future.
Oh wow.
And
Holy.
one of the best upcoming elite wings.
Wow.
He needs to break out.
That's
this is the
insane.
series where he breaks out.
Okay.
And we move forward talking about MPJ.
I had him as a very good regular season performer this year, a guy that steps up in the regular season, but as a Finals MVP,
Yes.
I don't know, man. I mean, it's happened before where we've seen Iguodala win the Finals MVP over
Yeah.
Steph Curry. We've seen stuff like that happen. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
it's possible.
that's insane.
What do you think, Tyler?
It can't be all Jokic all the time. You got to show love to the supporting cast. This is the love to the supporting cast.
But
Right.
he's going to outperform.
But
Jokic.
when the Nuggets are plus 50 in expected wins when Jokic is on the floor, so they're like a lottery team without him. It's tough to call.
I think his only case is that Jokic does what he does, but now the Nuggets need that other players that's going to step up in a huge way, and he thinks that's going to be MPJ.
I think you the only way that happens is if Jamal has a stinker.
Yeah,
I think that's the only way.
that's the only way.
Because I think against the Pacers, Jokic would probably average a 30-point triple double.
He would.
Because the Heat played him straight single coverage.
Yeah.
So that's why he didn't average a triple double that series.
Yeah.
But I just don't think the Pacers lack the size to kind of bump bodies with the Nuggets interior. But yeah, no, I think Jokic will have another ridiculous NBA Finals.
I'm so excited.
And that is why I did not pick him to win MVP this year.
Okay,
Because I think they'll win it all again.
they'll win it all. Let's go.
Absolutely. So
Let's
that's
go.
crazy.
The Nuggets agenda.
That might be the biggest hot take I've ever seen, and I really hope to God you stand on that. I swear, if you,
I saw it all along. Jokic MVP.
if the Nuggets win the finals and Jokic gets Finals MVP, I don't want to hear a peep from
I saw it all along.
you. You knew it from the beginning.
No, I think MPJ needs to break out. He needs to stand on his
there's
abilities and everything.
I think
that
he'll
he
break
had.
out, but Finals MVP
Why?
over
What's-
Jokic
Oh,
is
you-
insane. It's crazy.
You're
That's
acting like
nuts.
Jokic is the whole team.
I mean, he basically is.
Like he can't win every MVP. You know, I
I mean, he
understand.
can.
I gave him
Easily
I
can.
gave him conference finals MVP. If you want me to give Porter Jr., I'll swap it. Put
No, you
Jokic
stand-
finals
you
and put
stand on
Porter
business.
at conference finals MVP.
That's no. I look, bro. Go off, King.
Yo,
Go off.
Gio, you have MPJ, bro. What are you doing? I have Jokic.
Okay, buddy.
What
Okay,
are you
buddy.
doing?
Okay.
Don't you know Jokic is MVP? Okay, who said what?
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is our full season predictions. Those are our finals MVP, everything of that nature. Let us know in the comments who you think is winning the NBA Finals this year. And I guess one final thing I will ask before we move on. Who finishes with the best record in the league in the regular season? And what is one bold prediction you have for the regular season? Because obviously we know, I think we all have our hot takes for the playoffs of Porter Jr. winning Finals MVP. Me having the Pacers to make the finals. You having the Sixers to make the finals. Who has the best record out of your 1 seeds, and what's a bold regular season prediction?
Boston, and
Yeah.
we will see a 70-point plus game from a player.
Again?
Whoa.
'Cause we saw it last
Again.
year. Well, from
Yeah.
Boston, though, specifically.
No, we'll see it from somebody. I don't know who, but we will see another 70-point performance.
Okay, who finished with the better? Oh, you think Boston's the best record?
Yes, Boston's the best record, and we have a 70-point performance. I will say upmost almost 80 points from a player.
Okay. I think
Don't know who, but it'll be somebody.
think-
Somebody elite.
I think Boston finished with the best record again. I mean, they might come close to 70, but I don't think
Yeah.
they'll get it. A bold prediction. That's tough. That is tough.
I can tell you mine.
What is it?
I mean, I pretty much said it, but let me just make sure you guys clearly understand what I'm saying here.
Okay.
Reed Shepard wins Rookie of the Year. Jalen Green wins Most Improved.
That's not a hot take,
And
though.
Ime Udoka, it is a hot
that-
take.
Well, you know what I mean? Like
those-
All
your-
3 of those guys
something
win
not-
it.
Something not associated with what we've done
your
so far.
awards.
Something bold and
That's pretty bold
random.
if you ask
You have
me.
It is bold.
3 Rockets winning
3
awards.
Rockets.
very
It's huge.
Rockets heavy.
Let's
huge.
Let's go to the moon.
Okay, wait, what?
Bold prediction. It's tough.
I'd say my bold prediction is the Bucks are going to be the best team in the NBA for the first half of the season.
Wow.
I
That
could
is
see that.
crazy.
That's my bold
That's
prediction.
crazy. I'm gonna go with a weird. I'm gonna go with an insanely bold one.
Go.
I think we see someone finish a 50-50-90 season.
50% shooting from the field and 3 and 90%.
Who's it going to be, Jokic?
No, Jokic's not a good free throw shooter.
Oh,
I'm thinking maybe someone like Steph
no way.
or someone like low key like Luke Kennard. He shot 49% from 3 2 years ago. But I think we see someone, maybe Kevin Durant, maybe Kyrie.
No way. That's
Someone finishes with a
insane.
50-50-90 season.
That means 50% from 3?
And field
Nah,
and
that's
90.
crazy.
That's
it has to be someone that
remarkable.
shoots the ball like a lot less. There's no way
Yeah.
KD or Kyrie's going to get that.
That's remarkable.
Yeah, that'd
That's
be
like
insane.
alien.
Or I could give you a better one, like Mikal Bridges shoots like 18% from 3.
Oh my god.
Hey, we'll take that one.
Yeah, we'll take that one. So,
We'll take it.
but yeah, any final thoughts before we move on to shower thoughts?
Let's go.
No, let's go shower.
Stop it.
Let's do it. All right, into the final segment. It's everyone's favorite. It's time for shower thoughts, the segment that racks our brains and turns Antoine super sus for no reason at all. That's, I think, going to be the new slogan from now on. It's a little long, but I think that generally encapsulates what shower thoughts is.
Apparently
So-
you have a cold shower today.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's definitely.
It's always cold when I take showers.
Okay.
I like to get in and out, get the job done, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what did we talk about last week? It was your question, Antoine. Do you remember? Because I'm trying to remember what it was.
Holy crap. What was my
I forgot.
Yeah, I forgot.
Well, if you guys do want to remember, since we can't figure it out, the link to episode 27 is down in the description. Go check it out. Go watch it. But yeah, this week, Gio, it is your turn. So kick off the first ever NBA shower thoughts of the 24-25 regular season.
Okay.
You do the honors, sir.
Well, since the NBA season is starting tomorrow, right? Starting
Well,
tomorrow.
By the time this episode comes out, it'll either be yesterday or 2 days ago.
Okay.
So,
Yes.
So it's starting Wednesday.
yes.
No, it's starting tomorrow.
No, it's
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay. I don't know even what day it is. That's why.
Yeah.
all right.
Starting tomorrow.
So it's starting on Tuesday.
Yep.
So I wanted to bring up just a couple bold predictions that I have for different NBA teams.
Oh.
And I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on just a couple of them.
Okay.
Okay, so
We'll go one at a time so we're not lost.
Yeah. I only have like 3 different
That's perfect. Yeah.
predictions. So I have one from the Eastern Conference and 2 from the Western Conference.
All right.
Okay. So
You want to sandwich them or do you want to do?
let's go with this one first.
Okay.
So the first one is the Suns.
Ah.
This prediction says the Suns will have the most efficient offense in the NBA this year. What do we think about that?
Ah.
You go first.
Suns with the most efficient offense.
I have my answer, but I'll let him go first.
Ooh.
Keep in mind they did have the 10th most efficient offense last season. So this is saying that they're going to improve to number 1 from number 10 to number 1 this year. What do you think?
I can see it happening, but I will only say they're going to get to top 5. They're not going to be the most efficient team on offense. I think that's going to be OKC or Boston. I will say top 5 though, so fairly close. But no, I think they're going to be really good offensive because of KD and Book. Hoping Beal gets back to scoring ways. So I think definitely up there, but not number 1. I think they're going to go through some struggles with who's taking shots, who has the ball. Beal, I think, is going to struggle a little bit, but I think he'll catch on come like maybe almost 20 games in. Hopefully maybe a little less than that. He'll find his form. But yeah, I think they'll be top 5, but not number 1.
So they're still figuring each other out still.
I think they'll figure. Yeah, they're going to catch on pretty quickly.
Okay.
I disagree.
Okay.
I think this team's actually going to get worse offensively.
Ooh.
It's tough. I mean, the best offenses are for your play-in sort of lower-end playoff teams like Indiana, Atlanta, Sacramento. Those are where like all offense, no defense. Yeah. So that's why you're going to see like a lot of Hawks games will finish 150 to 148. So with Phoenix, it's tough because it's all clogged. It really depends on their starting lineup because obviously KD, Book, Beal will be that 2-3-4. You just pay Grayson Allen a ton of money. He's your floor spacing 3-point specialist, and he's not even going to be starting anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
So you already have not a great offensively, what's the word? Gifted Bradley Beal like he was in Washington. And obviously Booker and KD, there's only one ball. They're not going to get 30 shots each.
Yeah.
So you compare that. You get rid of your floor spacing small forward.
Floor spacing.
Exactly, yeah, pun intended. You get rid of your floor spacing 3-point shooter. Yusuf Nurkic can't shoot.
Yeah.
And he's arguably one of the worst offensive centers in the NBA right now.
Nurkic,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Nurkic is.
And Tyus Jones is not the greatest shooter either. So he'll generate a lot of he'll be good as far as just straight playmaking in the half court.
Right.
For like KD and Book, but the best offense in the league is crazy because it typically goes to a team that's not good defensively, and the Suns are okay defensively.
Yeah, they're okay.
With Mike Budenholzer, he is a defensive-minded head coach. So I can't see a team with a defensive-minded head coach being the best offense in the NBA.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, that's fair. I actually like that take. I didn't realize Budenholzer is actually the coach, and he's a defensive-minded coach. So, yeah, that makes sense.
What are your thoughts?
I think that I don't think they get worse. I think I think last season was kind of an experiment to see, can we coexist? And they found out, it's first of all, it's very hard for 3 all-stars to come together and that with their individual play styles that are like very ball dominant.
Yeah.
So it's hard to coexist with players like that. So I think this next year we're going to see some growth, but nothing significant. I think we'll probably be around so I think they'll go from 10th to probably around 7th, 6th, that area. But we're not going to see number 1. We're not going to see number 2, 3.
Okay.
Now, do you think other teams lower than them will improve better, though? That's kind of my argument for them dropping back. I think they could easily fall down to 14,
That is
somewhere
a good
around
point,
there. Because typically contenders are in the top 10 in offense, or at least in both categories. I just can't really see it. If they're going to have a good defense, they'll be top half. I just can't see it offensively.
That's a good argument you made because other teams did get better in the offseason, making different moves and stuff. But I don't know. I think with another year under their belts, I think they'll be more acclimated to each other. Chemistry should be better. So that's what I'm banking on, having them move up in the ranks.
That's fair. I respect that.
Yeah. All right. So the next one. The next hot take / bold prediction is Luka will finish leading the league in assists and points. What do we think?
Ooh.
Does he get it? Does he get it? Does he not? Why doesn't he? Why does he? Tell us.
We haven't seen that in forever.
I think that's very doable.
Very doable for him?
Yeah.
Okay.
We haven't seen that in years.
Yeah.
I don't even know who the last player to do that was.
Was it Harden?
No.
I don't think so. No,
I don't
right?
think so. I think it was way back.
Like Tiny Archibald or something
I think
like that?
it might have been
Yeah, I think
Tiny
so.
Archibald. I think he was the last player to do it.
Yeah, that's like the 60s,
So
man.
points and assists.
I'm going to say no.
No.
I'm going to say no.
I think it's one of them.
Does he get one of the two?
Oh,
I
absolutely.
think he
Which
gets
one is it?
one.
I think he'll lead the league in scoring again.
Scoring.
Yeah. Assists could be a toss-up between him and a few other guys.
I just don't see him because he averages a near triple-double, and assists are always the lowest out of the three.
Yeah.
Right.
I just don't see it in the sense that the Mavericks, I think Klay Thompson's going to be a struggle for them this year, that Luka's going to have to shoot a lot more.
Right.
And look, I think, honestly, if he's healthy and plays a full season, Chris Paul might lead the league in assists. Just
Chris Paul.
Just throw lobs up to Wemby.
Yeah.
He's going to average like 13 assists, bro. He's going to do it in his sleep.
Yeah, that's not bad.
But I also don't think it will be. I don't know if it will be him necessarily. I think this year you're going to see Jokic prep himself more for the playoffs. I think he will be the leader in assists.
Okay.
Jokic.
I don't think it's going to be, or someone else.
Jokic
It could be
leading the
anyone.
league in assists. Has he ever done that?
He led the playoffs in assists.
He led the playoffs.
He led the play. Let me see who led it last year, because I honestly don't remember. to be
Tyrese,
honest
no?
with you. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know what?
Tyrese.
It might be him.
Halliburton. Yeah, that guy. That
It
guy.
might be him. So, yeah, I don't see Luka leading the league in assists, but points, absolutely.
Okay. And then Anthony, you said same thing, right?
Yeah, I think he'll get 1 of the 2. I think I'm fine with like Paul, Hallie, Jokic, Sabonis. Up with those guys, yeah. Luka will be up there though. I don't know if he'll be first though.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
All right.
What about you, though?
What about me? I think he's going to do it.
Ooh.
That's why I put it on there. I think he's going to lead the league in assists and points. I think his usage rate is so high. I think, like you said, adding Klay Thompson is going to just make for easy catch and shoot assists for Luka.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
going to add to his assist rate, his assist total.
But if he's passing the ball more, are the points per game going to suffer? Because he's not shooting as much?
Well, he passes
No.
the ball plenty.
Yeah, he passes it.
Right, but is he going to do it more, though? Because he needs to pass more to get the assist numbers up.
Yeah, that's very true. I think his usage rate is going to go up as well.
Yeah, I mean, what's it going to be? I'm trying to think what it could be.
It's already at like 43.
It might be. It might be.
It might
around
be.
there, yeah.
It might be historic. It might like 47. I think it's going to be around there.
I think it's going to be a little lower.
I think it's going to be okay.
And honestly, I don't even think it's going to be in the 40s. I think it might be like 30,
30.
36 and a
That's
half.
low for him.
It's low for him, but I think it'll help with the production overall.
Of the team.
Yeah.
Got you.
Because I think the Mavs need to stop giving themselves really hard playoff matchups
Right,
and
right.
get home court.
Yeah.
But
Let's keep
I mean, I'm curious if you think he's going to do it, then why isn't he your MVP pick? Because that's insane.
That is insane.
Yeah.
I just think, yeah, I don't know. SGA, I just think SGA just takes it just simply because of his aura. I think he just grabs the
Yeah, the Mavs aren't gonna.
No, that's
be
Tyler. That's a
winning
good
the
question.
conference.
I think it's going to be a toss up between the two, but I just went with SGA
That's fair.
winning MVP. But
I don't hate it.
you want to get into the next question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last one. This is a bold prediction of mine, and it has to do with Zach LaVine.
Oh,
And so I'm predicting he's going to get traded.
okay.
I think we can probably all agree with that. He's going to get traded somewhere, but the team that he gets traded to is going to get significantly worse the moment he lands on that team. I personally think Zach LaVine is a player that has the most empty stats in NBA history. What do we think?
Okay.
Oh, so
Oh.
The team that he goes to is going to get worse.
okay. I'll let you answer that
They will
first.
suffer.
Oh my god. That's a possibility, but if he's going to a contender that's better than Chicago, I don't see them getting significantly worse. I could see if he goes to a team that's middle of the pack, like Golden State, Sacramento, probably not Sacramento. Golden State, Lakers. I could see the Lakers getting considerably worse because that's a Lakers thing to happen. Lakers thing to do just to get a good player to get worse. Levine fitting in there would be kind of hard.
Right. I guess it depends the team he
Clippers,
goes to.
I understand Clippers could get worse.
Yeah.
Possible. But if it's any of those two teams, if it's not the LA teams, I think they get better.
Well, which team do you think he goes to begin with? Start there.
It's tough to call,
It
really.
is tough because if the Clippers are bad, they're not buying. I don't.
Well, give me
see-
two predictions right now. Give me two teams you think that are likely that Zach LaVine might go to. A shooting guard.
Thinking
I could see Milwaukee.
that's a choice. I think that's one of
Milwaukee
the
is
options.
one.
I
They
think,
need a shooting guard.
I think Miami's an option.
So Miami, Milwaukee are your top two landing spots
Your
for
two
Zach.
potential landing
Miami could
spots.
be there.
I low key could see the Knicks doing something stupid,
Oh no.
Nah, the Knicks are done.
getting off of Heart's money.
No way.
No,
They're
no,
done
no,
for the season.
No.
Could happen, bro. I'm telling you, it could happen.
It could happen.
I think he low-key goes to Toronto, honestly.
So that's your pick.
No, that's my pick. I'm just
Toronto's
was
not
your
a
pick?
bad
saying. Could be
shout.
any of those teams. Is what I'm saying.
Toronto's not a bad shout. Charlotte, maybe to pair up with LaMelo. I don't know.
That would be the perfect spot for him. That would be the perfect spot.
Charlotte.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Unironically speaking, it would be a perfect
I don't
spot.
think Charlotte would get worse with him.
I don't think so either. It'll probably stay the same.
Washington, maybe. I don't
No,
know.
no.
They're basically just in short. There's infinite options for Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they did that.
You don't think so?
Worse.
So you disagree with the prediction? Got you.
Yeah.
Tyler, what do you think?
I overwhelmingly agree.
Really?
Oh,
Yes.
Lord.
Interesting.
There's a reason why Zach LaVine has no trade value at all.
Oh wow.
I mean, first of all, he's on a garbage contract. He's locked in for 3 more years, guaranteed to make hundreds of millions of dollars, with feet and ankles and his knee, he's just injury prone,
Yeah.
just all over the place. And as far as for Zach LaVine as a multi-time All-Star, his advanced metrics are in like percentiles lower than 50%. Like his portability rate, I think, is in like the 30s, where he's so one-dimensional that you can't really play him in multiple spots.
Yep.
And I think at the end of the day, it's just like this Bulls team was supposed to be built around him. 'Cause he was there first. They got Lonzo and DeRozan, and they got this team together. And at the end of the day, they just couldn't get it done in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So they made one playoff series and got gentlemen swept by Milwaukee. So you're telling me with Zach LaVine that on a team last year, that you're telling me Alex Caruso has better trade returns than Zach LaVine. That's saying something.
Yeah.
So for me, in all just kind of like actuality, I think offensively he's falling off. Defensively, he's never been good. So I think wherever he goes, unless it's to Washington, because you can't get worse than 15th, I think I agree. So like I think if he does go to a team like Toronto, I think their play-in hopes are gone.
Yeah.
If he goes to a team like the Knicks, they're in the play-in automatically.
Oh no.
Yeah. I
Wow.
think like Zach LaVine is someone that has gone from a very highly coveted player
Yeah.
to a net negative on the
Yeah.
floor. And that's no insult to sort of Zach LaVine. It's just kind of how it is because he kept getting injured and he just never really showed up when they needed him to.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's a trash player, but I think for, as far as like a player I can compare him to, it's hard to kind of really say. I would say a lesser accomplished Jaylen Brown.
Interesting.
Okay.
Because I think the potential's there. It's just we're not getting it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And Jaylen Brown's proven, but he does have a lot of flaws. Like Jaylen Brown still can't dribble with his left hand. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
That's
see
kind
it.
of my
I see
thoughts
it.
on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what about you?
No, yeah, that was my bold prediction.
I thought it
think
was.
he is
Yeah.
an empty stat player, and I think wherever he goes, I mean, man, I don't like. I typically don't like to put this negativity out there like that, but being real, I don't really see him going to a team and them flourishing with him,
Right.
and getting better
that's
in any
fair.
way. So
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
yeah.
I don't hate that at all. So pretty good shower thoughts. I like that one.
Yeah. That
was
So
interesting.
great one to open up the season.
Yeah.
So next week it will be my turn. So I'll come up with something good. I wrote something down. I got to remember where I wrote it down.
Yes, please
Because
do.
it's a really good question.
Yes.
So any other final thoughts regarding shower thoughts?
No, sir.
No.
All right, with that, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of episode number 28 of the Floor Spacer podcast. Guys, we're closing on 30 episodes soon. How are we feeling?
Tired.
That's a lot.
a
Yeah,
lot.
it's a lot.
A lot of episodes.
I wonder how many days worth of pods we have recorded.
A lot.
Definitely a few.
I'm starting to lose track.
We're past the full day because we're at 28.
Each episode's a little over 2.5 hours to 2 hours, so we're probably around like 3 days, maybe
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
maybe more.
Possibly.
But that's insane. So, Gio, we've reached that point in the video. For those that are still with the flow, what do they comment at home?
Comment down below. Russell Westbrook Lopez.
What? One word, please.
No, it's all one word.
Okay, all
Russell
one word.
Westbrook Lopez.
Okay.
Russell Westbrook Lopez.
Okay.
I got it.
So
Comment that down
there you
below.
go.
I got it.
Or D'Angelo Russell Westbrook Lopez.
There you go.
Yeah.
D'Angelo Russell. Yeah.
D'Angelo
D'Angelo Russell Westbrook
D'Angelo
Lopez.
Russell.
There you go.
Westbrook
That's
Lopez.
a lot better.
Comment that down below.
All in order.
Yeah. So, as far as everything else goes, we hope you guys did enjoy opening night. We hope you enjoy the rest of the NBA games that are still to play and everything going forward. And yeah, next week we got some stuff planned, and obviously in 2 weeks we'll predict every in-season tournament group before the tournament starts. And if you guys did enjoy today's video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, follow us on our socials down below. If you're on Spotify audio platforms, give us 5 stars, all that stuff. Follow us on our personal socials, get Gio to 1 mil. And just leave any comments, questions you have, any draft ideas, anything of that nature. And lads, any final thoughts before we get on out of here?
We got to guess. We got to guess a player.
Go Yankees.
That's
Go
true. Yeah, we're going to
Yankees.
record some shorts after this. Good luck to
One
the Yankees
short.
and the Dodgers in the World Series. And yeah, we hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all for watching. We love you all endlessly. And we'll see you all next week in episode 29.